is Boston Bruins hockey, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V, available at your local New England Honda dealers. The Bruins are brought to you by VA New England, Granite City Electric GCE Nitrate, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Coors Banquet, your New England Ford dealers, Live Nation, Peerless Boilers, Safety Insurance, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
2 seconds, 1 second, it's over. The Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
And by Town Fair Tire, TD Bank, your Boston area Nissan dealers, Charles D. Sheehy, Ticketmaster, Dairy Queen, Bosch Tools, Hub International New England, McGovern Auto Group, Timberline Construction, the Peterson School, your Eastern Region Lexus dealers, and by DraftKings Sportsbook.
After 39 long years, the Cup is back home. The Bruins are 2011 Stanley Cup champions.
Now, here's Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers.
From Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida, it's Boston Bruins hockey, as today, just 24 hours removed from a massive reshaping of both the present and future of the Bruins roster, the team wraps up their 2-game road trip against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Great to have you with us alongside Bob Beers. I'm Ryan Johnston. There is a game coming up this afternoon, but right now that takes a major backseat to the trades made by Don Sweeney at yesterday's trade deadline. Captain Brad Marchand is now a Florida Panther. Charlie Coyle to Colorado, Brandon Carlo to Toronto. Those moves, along with Justin Brazeau being traded to Minnesota, and earlier this week, Trent Frederick goes to Edmonton. That's going to be the focus of our pregame show today, and obviously we start with the captain, Brad Marchand. As I said, a Florida Panther, shocking in a lot of different ways, and yet, I think in some ways people might have seen it coming, that, they hadn't been able to come to a deal on a contract, and they might not have had much of a choice in the long run.
Yeah, it's tough seeing him go to Florida. It's tough seeing him leave, first of all. Just a great person that I've had the privilege to cover here, since he came into the league, and really enjoyed, he lit up a room when he walked in, right? Whether he was walking onto the airplane or walking on into the locker room, whatever, he lit up the room. He came with so much energy, so much passion. I know reputation-wise around the league for people that maybe don't know him, and he earned some of that, but just a quality person. Actually, every player that they lost, every player that they moved, is a quality person.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it a little bit more as we go along, but I can't stand the fact that he's going to Florida. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna hide that. A team that the Bruins the Panthers have beaten the Bruins, 2 playoff series in a row. That one bothers me. I know that maybe Don Sweeney, and we don't know all the particulars, so maybe Don Sweeney was trying to do him right if that's where he wanted to go in terms of a trade. I honestly thought the Bruins could get a little bit more for him, but the injury, it was probably an issue.
Sure.
That the fact that he's not ready to play right now, and the uncertainty of when he's going to be able to play, and maybe he had some say into where he was going to go. So, maybe that was the case, and if that's the case, okay, I get it. But it's tough for me to see him go to Florida. The team that we've grown to hate here in a respectful way.
Yeah.
Grown to hate over the last couple of years.
I think that was the reaction from a lot of fans yesterday, too. It's like, you understand business is business, but does it have to be the Florida Panthers?
Right.
Of all things.
Interesting that they did business with two of their rivals, right? The Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers. But we've beaten Toronto, so
right.
I'm not worried about them. But it's Florida that's the one that bothers me.
Well, and in a way, Bruins fans should be rooting for the Florida Panthers this coming offseason, because the better they do, assuming Marchand's in the lineup for at least 50%, their second-round pick could become a first-round pick if they make it to the Eastern Conference
I'm not rooting
final.
for anybody right now, but I get the first-round pick thing.
Well, here's some of what Don Sweeney had to say about how it got to this point yesterday after negotiations for a contract extension with Marchand had failed to reach a deal.
Just had a gap. Deep down, we had been talking, really from day 2, I think, of free agency in terms of what his intentions were and where we were at. And we always had a bit of a term gap that took us a while, and felt that we had been able to bridge that. But again, a player is more than entitled to have an understanding of what they think their market value is and do what's best for them. And I have to always respect that. There's never, an ounce of me that won't respect what that player thinks is best for he and his family. And that's the decision that was made. And then we had to make a really, really difficult decision to say, well, let's give Brad another opportunity, with a really good team. And then he can make his decision, as to what he thinks is best moving forward.
And in addition to that, during that press conference yesterday afternoon, Don Sweeney talked about, some of the things that came into play here, the limited movement in his contract. He had an 8-team no-trade clause. They also had the injury to deal with as well. Let's hear some of that.
No, I worked off of, Brad's, his representatives have known that there were teams were interested, worked off of his trade restrictions. And, we had some conversations right at the very end in terms of what maybe his preference, but not necessarily a specific location. And ultimately we made a decision for him to be in the East and on a really good team. With his injury, it complicates things a little bit. So you're just basically talking to the teams that are willing to take on that risk. In the position they're in, comfortable that he's going to miss the timeline that's likely, and work through it and find out who's willing to take that and do the best job he can for the organization. Ultimately, once the gap was there that he wasn't going to sign, now whether or not we could have taken the time in between now and then, and maybe it changes, but the time leading up to it hadn't, and that's where the tipping point is. Says I have to do what's right for the organization.
Yeah. There's a lot to take in there. There's a lot to digest, and you try to read between the lines. He's certainly not, Don Sweeney's certainly not going to tell us everything and about negotiations and things, any of the specifics, I mean. So, obviously, the gap, he said in terms of term.
Right.
So was it 1 year, was it 2 years, was it 3 years? Don't know, but... And there's no closing the door on him coming back either if the terms are correct and whatever, but that's further down the road. That's always a possibility. It's a tough one to swallow because he has given everything to this team, and it meant so much to the organization, to the team, to the fans, and what he's been able to bring. He's a borderline Hall of Fame. He's certainly a Bruins Hall of Famer once he retires. His numbers speak for themselves, and the heart and soul, and the way that he played, and the way that he dragged people into the fight is sorely going to be missed. This is going to be a hard lineup. I mean, I know he's been out of the lineup with an injury, but it's going to be a hard lineup to watch, and knowing that he's not coming back into it.
Yeah, and you can see it from the how the coaches talk about him, how the other players talk about him, how the front office talks about him. Don Sweeney obviously very deferential to Marchand yesterday. The statements put out by Cam Neely and Charlie Jacobs today as well. And Cam Neely said, this is a guy who embodies what it means to be a member of the Boston Bruins and has for a long time. And, for a generation of fans, Brad Marchand is and was a major face for this organization, and one that I think a lot of people hoped would be able to finish his career as a Boston Bruin from start to finish.
Well, my concern now, Ryan, is, and I talked about it a little bit on the hockey show this morning. I'm not sure what you and Ryan talked about, or you and Ty talked about, but my concern is inside that room now. We all knew it was going to be a major void when Bergeron left. Chara first, and then Bergeron, of course. Bergeron had a massive respect within that locker room. Marchand has had a huge respect inside that locker room. McAvoy hurt. Pastrnak certainly has that respect, but the Bruins lost some quality people. Every one of these guys that they lost was quality guy. I mean, I know Brazo was a little bit more of a I don't want to demean it, a bit piece, right? He was a smaller piece. But even from Frederick, who was a draft pick, draft and develop, Coyle, a hometown guy who's been, just a quality human. Carlo, draft and developed. Marchand, draft and developed. All these guys were really good individuals and well-respected in different ways. Marchand was a livelier guy than maybe a Coyle, or a louder guy than maybe a Coyle or Carlo, or Frederick for that matter. but they all were good people, and that's the hardest part about this. I mean, I've been on plenty of teams. I was on a Tampa Bay team the first year that Tampa Bay was in existence, and we traded some veteran guys who were really well respected. We weren't going to make the playoffs. It was an expansion team, and it wasn't like expansion teams now, where they're they're dealt a pretty good hand. I was there for a reason, but it was hard to see guys that you were with that entire season gone. These are guys that have been with the Bruins for years, several years, and in some cases, like I said, draft and develop, and now to see them go, it's a massive void inside that locker room. For me, I don't know who takes over. Obviously McAvoy and Lindholm to a certain degree when he comes back, but next year, that's going to be their room. Who's going to be the next captain? That type of thing. These are questions moving forward, but there's been so many changes this year between the coach and now all these players, all these well-respected players that are going out. It leaves a massive void in that locker room and a lot of questions going forward.
Yeah, from a leadership perspective, definitely. And actually, it's something that you'll hear Joe Sacco talk a little bit about later on in our pregame show. Well, coming up here on the pregame show, we will go around the NHL. We'll talk about some of the other deals that were made yesterday, including the big one, Mikko Rantanen, traded for the second time this season.
Everything was considered, I would say, that way. Obviously, I knew I played against Dallas a lot. I know they have a good team. I know the city.
I'll talk with Joe Sacco about the impact of yesterday's deals as he gets ready for today's game.
The message is we're 3 points out of a playoff spot. We have a competitive group here. Nothing changed as far as our end goal.
And we'll hear more from Don Sweeney about yesterday's trades.
Clearly, we looked at the opportunities in front of us to change the direction of things without, just tearing things down.
That's all coming up here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Thumbtack presents the ins and outs of caring for your home. Out. Indecision. Overthinking. Second-guessing every choice you make. In. Plans and guides that make it easy to get home projects done. Out. Beige on beige on beige. In. Knowing what to do, when to do it, and who to hire. Start caring for your home with confidence. Download Thumbtack today.
At Enterprise, we know you're constantly on the move. Getting this.
Thanks, Mom.
Fixing that. You reach a destination. And then it's on to the next. And when life is moving at the speed of, life, Enterprise is right there with you. Around the corner and around the globe. We'll keep you moving forward. Enterprise. For lives in drive.
Hey, it's Dennis Quaid here. There's a pressing issue that still needs attention, the state of our retirement savings. We're dealing with $36 trillion in debt, and the interest on that debt is now greater than our entire defense budget for the first time in history. And with global tension still high, it's more important than ever to help secure your financial future. That's why I partnered with a great company, Goldco, who is offering you a free copy of their Gold and Silver Kit. The kit contains vital information to help you navigate the current economic landscape and offers strategies to help you protect your life savings. Get a free Gold and Silver Kit to get the facts and make a decision that's right for you and your family by calling 855-GOLD-IRA. You may even qualify for free bonus silver plus a free Ronald Reagan silver coin. Call 855-GOLD-IRA. That's 855-GOLD-IRA.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
Back here in Tampa, where the Bruins get ready to take on the Lightning, and we're talking about yesterday's moves made at the trade deadline. We talked a little bit about some of the players that have left here over the course of the last 48 hours. Let's talk a little bit about what they've got back. Don Sweeney said they had certain criteria that they were looking for as they made these deals yesterday.
The players that we've identified, and Casey coming in right away addresses, some of the skill sets needs that you look at our power play that we need to improve upon in some areas. And center ice is an area that we're trying to start to drive play, and he has a skill set for that. Fraser Minton, from a draft standpoint and how much we valued his abilities, has a lot of the Charlie Coyle's qualities as a player and the leadership qualities that we identified at the draft and subsequently afterwards. Again, I hope he grows into, because of the high regard that I have Charlie. And Will Zellers is, one of the top scorers in the USHL, another player that we specifically, had gone after and targeted to add. And you start to look at draft capital that we had been spending over a course of most of the years. It starts to take its toll. And you have to have a little bit of a step back approach at times. Did we come in this morning knowing that we were making every one of these moves? No, but we were prepared if the things that we would like presented.
Yeah, so, you get two prospects, and Don Sweeney just referenced a couple. First of all, you go back to 2023, when the Bruins had that record-setting year, and they went out and they went for it, right? And they've gone for it a few times, right? Whether it was Nash coming in, Rick Nash coming in, certainly Bertuzzi and Orlov. You have to give up first-round picks to get them. So I get it, and that's on the players. And that season, the way that ended was on the players. The management did everything in their power to make sure that team was equipped to win, and that fell short. So, I get that. So now you have to start to replenish. And they identified these, the two guys coming in as guys that Zellers and is it Minton? I'm sorry,
Fraser Minton
from
Will
Toronto.
Zellers,
that they identify as guys that are going to be NHL players here moving forward. Plus they get draft picks as well, which we won't see until for a little while yet, right? It takes a little while for the draft picks to kind of come onto the scene. But so you want to replenish what you don't have. But now it's a matter of, did they identify the right guys? Do they draft correctly? Do they develop correctly to get these guys implemented as quickly as when they're ready, but as quickly as possible into the NHL? And that's something that the Bruins, are still working to do with a number of people and that they've drafted here over the years. It's an interesting. It's been the most bizarre, trade deadline since I've been doing this, with 5 quality people going out the door.
Right.
I mean, 4 especially. I don't mean to cut Brazo short or anything. He was here a short time.
Sure.
And it was a great story, though, how he made it to the NHL. It was a fantastic story, and he had 10 goals this year. He was, a good player at times for the Bruins. But guys that they've drafted, guys who have been here for years, even Coyle coming in as a hometown guy, and he meant so much to this team, just so well respected within the locker room and within the community and everything else. It's hard to see them go. And as a teammate, as guys that are down on the ice right now, that's a tough thing to process right now. They played hard the other night against Carolina. Yeah. They did deserve better in that game against Carolina because they were the better team. I'm very curious to see what they have this afternoon.
Well, it's interesting. I was downstairs while we were waiting to talk with Joe Sacco earlier today. Jacob Loo spoke to the media. He's obviously
a good
back.
Kid.
He's back. He's a great kid.
He's a good kid.
And he comes in and he's, it's amazing just in the short time that he was gone, how much turnover there has been in that locker room, that there's not a whole lot of guys still here who are going to be on the ice today who played alongside Lauko. And in fact, if you go back to that team you were mentioning, that 22-23 team, Pasternak, Zacha, Hampus Lindholm, Charlie McAvoy, Jeremy Swayman. Those are the 5 guys, and now Lauko coming back, but he was gone, who were major parts of that team. You've got 5 players who are still left 2 years removed from that. It's been that much turnover. Well, today's storyline's brought to you by your Boston area Chevrolet dealers. Get a closer look at Chevy's award-winning lineup at your New England Chevy dealer. Find exciting offers, too, on the powerful Silverado and feature-packed all-new Equinox. Coming up, we will go around the NHL and talk about some of the other major moves made around the league yesterday here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
There are lots of reasons to get excited for spring. Warmer weather, get-togethers, and now new spring arrivals from your favorite brands at Macy's. Even more exciting, refresh your beauty routine at our Buy More, Save More event. Pick up new skincare, makeup, and fragrances from Estee Lauder, Valentino, MAC, and more. And save $30 with every $150 you spend. The more you spend, the more you save. Don't wait. Beauty deals this good won't last long. Hurry into Macy's today. Savings off regular price beauty and fragrance. Exclusions apply.
Artificial intelligence, AI, it's all you hear about. But how far away is it? And what are the potential threats from AI that could totally upend the way Americans live their lives? What will it do to the job market? What will the unemployment rate be? What does it mean for data privacy or cybersecurity? How about the banking system or national security? The ECB has already warned about a bubble in AI stocks. Could this spread to other sectors? If you have $50,000 or more saved for retirement, this may not be the time to wait and find out. Learn how you could help protect your life savings using precious metals like gold and silver. Right now, you can get a free gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco. On top of that, you could get up to a 10% instant match in bonus silver, but only while supplies last. Call 855-GOLD-IRA now. That's 855-GOLD-IRA. One more time, 855-GOLD-IRA.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5thesportshub.com.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The Celtics, they're in action later tonight, hosting the Los Angeles Lakers. Coverage starts at 8 o'clock right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. We'll also have coverage of the New England Revolution taking on Philadelphia Union tonight. Coverage starts at 7:30 on the Sports Hub HD2 channel. Red Sox in spring training action. They're taking on the Twins, and moves starting around the NFL ahead of free agency opening on Monday. Some re-signings. The Bills are bringing back Greg Rousseau. The Chiefs are bringing back Hollywood Brown. And the Bengals are bringing back former Patriots tight end Mike Gesicki. The Boston Bruins are bringing you the best snow day ever. Tune in Tuesday, March 11, as the Bruins vs. Panthers on-ice action is transformed into animation using NHL Edge data. Watch the same action happening on the ice, but in a whole new way, for a one-of-a-kind game day viewing experience. Learn more at bostonbruins.com/best snow day ever. I'm Alex Barth on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super-sized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
Etsy is here with some New Year inspiration. You can refresh your home with linen bedding under $150 and handmade jackets under $100 from small shops. For home and style finds to help you start fresh, Etsy has it.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
Bruins and the Tampa Bay Lightning coming up. Yesterday's trade deadline, not just Boston affected, obviously. Big move around the league. Mikko Rantanen goes to Dallas. Carolina gets Logan Stankoven, 2 first-round picks, 2 third-round picks, and Rantanen agrees to a contract extension, 8 years at $12 million per in Dallas.
Everything was considered, I would say, that way. Obviously, I knew I played against Dallas a lot. I know they have a good team. I know the city well enough and everything there, and I've only heard good things about the organization and everything. So at the end of the day, it was easy. It was a decision at that point.
Yeah, Mikko Rantanen, I was actually a little surprised he played the other day against the Bruins, and then just watching him in that game, he's a superstar in this league. There's no question about it. We've seen him enough times in Colorado and watched him, throughout the playoffs and everything else, and he is definitely truly a superstar in this league. He didn't look like it the other day against when the Bruins played Carolina. He had a couple chances to score, but there's something missing there. And
you mentioned he and Aho just didn't seem to be connecting.
They were not connected at all. I mean, they're trying to make plays, and it wasn't there. And and 2 guys that are good friends as well. But maybe it's the style of play. Maybe it was that the trade caught him completely off guard. Whatever the case, he has not looked good in Carolina. Dallas gives him another fresh start, and now he was prepared for it. Now he was almost asking for it, and now he has the new contract. Let's see how that kind of translates into the way that he plays and the way that he handles himself here moving forward. That's a really good team in Dallas. I expect Carolina to be a good team as well. They didn't look good the other day, though. But Dallas should be a very good team. And Carolina taking all kinds of heat right now for the way that they handled that. They weren't able to get him signed. Did they get enough for him? You got for a team that wants to win now, getting 2 firsts and 2 thirds, and Stankoven is not going to help them win now.
Right.
So, a very interesting change in the way that Carolina has kind of gone about their business.
Among the other deals, Ottawa acquiring Dylan Cousins from Buffalo. They send Josh Norris back to the Sabres, and Steve Stamkos trying to get the Sens into the playoffs.
These are very difficult decisions, and sure, I take time to think about how it's going to affect the group, but in my position, I can't let that get in the way of trying to make our team better.
Fascinating move, really. Josh Norris is a really good player, but he can't stay healthy.
Right.
Cousins is a couple years removed from scoring 30 goals. He's been in a terrible culture in Buffalo, and I mean, it has. People leave Buffalo and they go and win.
Right.
It's just, unfortunately for the Sabres, it's just been ugly here for so many years. So for Cousins, this is a breath of fresh air for him to go to Ottawa, a team that's on the rise right now. Buffalo hasn't shown any signs of that.
And Brady Tkachuk really emotional about that trade too. He and Josh Norris very close. So how does that impact, whether he wants to stay in Ottawa long term? So that's our look around the NHL. I'll have a sit down with Joe Sacco coming up next as we get ready for Bruins and Lightning here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super-sized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
Warning! Inflation is back on the rise. The national debt is spiraling out of control. The stock market has been at an all-time high, and wars continue to rage across the globe. Experts are predicting a massive economic crash for 2025, and you should be ready. Will you sit on the sidelines and wait, or will you take action today to help protect your hard-earned retirement savings? Right now, you can get a free gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco, where you'll learn why tens of thousands of hardworking Americans and even the world's central banks are turning to precious metals to help protect and diversify their money. Get your free gold and silver kit from Goldco by calling 855-GOLD-IRA. You could even receive up to a 10% instant match on bonus silver for qualified accounts. Don't let your financial future slip through your fingers. Learn why so many Americans are diversifying with gold and silver today. Call 855-GOLD-IRA. That's 855-GOLD-IRA.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins radio network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Our pregame interview with Joe Sacco is brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. We'll help you manage life's storms.
Well, as you guys get ready to take on the Tampa Bay Lightning, obviously a whole lot's going on here in the last 48 hours. First and foremost, you've been here for most of Brad Marchand's career. What does it mean? What has he meant to this team and this organization during that time?
No, he's meant so much. I think from just, the way that he carried himself and handled himself as a professional, and his work ethic, his personality, his energy, all those things. Been very fortunate to work with him for that amount of time, and I really got to know him well as a person, and first and foremost, that's the most important thing, and so it was tough.
And Charlie Coyle and Brandon Carlo are kind of there as well. I mean, they've been here a long time, and two seeming really good guys, as well as really good hockey players. How do you fill the void that's left by players like that, particularly in the leadership category?
Well, we're going to have to find out. I think that's part of the process right now is, you lose good people, good players, and more importantly, good people like those guys like you mentioned. And I think everybody has to in that room, take a little bit more accountability as far as stepping up in the leadership role. We'll have some other guys that may embrace it more now that those guys aren't here. So I would say it's going to be more collective than individual as a group. Make sure that we're doing it together.
I would say I don't envy you trying to put together just a lineup today, trying to figure out how do you go about doing that and figuring out who might fit where?
Well, I mean, we have some information on the players. We have background, we have some background on what they do well, if we didn't know them as well as maybe some other people did, but within our organization. And we're trying to piece it together, what we feel will give us the best chemistry. We'll see, though, that there's opportunity here for guys that have coming into the organization now to say, hey, they have the opportunity to be a Bruin number one, and they have the opportunity to be an everyday NHL player, and that's something that they should strive for.
I wanted to ask you about the new faces. Jacob Loo is a guy that obviously from his time here before, what he will bring to the lineup first and foremost.
Speed, grit. I think those are the two biggest things. Some intensity, obviously. He's got a good set of wheels on him. We need to be able to create more pressure, more anxiety on the opposition's defense, and he can do that for us on the forecheck.
Casey Middlestat comes here from Colorado, where he's had some success in the past. What do you know about his game?
Well, I know that he's a good offensive player. He can generate 5-on-5 and on the power play. We're going to be looking for some of that. We need him to have the ability. He has the ability to make some plays in tight areas on the ice. He sees it well offensively, so should give us a boost offensively.
Husnadinov's a young player. He's still kind of getting his feet wet in the NHL. What are your expectations for him early on?
We'll see. I don't know the player that well. I watched him yesterday in practice for about 20. It was a short practice yesterday, 25 minutes. But he looked competitive. He was competitive on the puck. He's got some speed to his game. He was moving his feet well yesterday in practice. So we're going to see another player that has an opportunity to maybe show more than he has in the past.
And Jokiharju on the back end, how does he slot in?
Well, he's going to slot in with Zadorov today. Puck-moving defenseman, moves his feet, He's more of a skater, passer than I would say a big, strong defender. But he's still, he's going to learn our system, how we play, how we protect middle ice. Hopefully that'll make it easier on him defending. But we just want to see him help us break pucks out of our zone, be a little more cleaner on our exits.
You guys still have close to a quarter of the season left as you take the ice today. What's the overall message that you give to your players, both new and old here?
Well, that we sit 3 points out of a playoff spot still right now. I think as we sit here this morning, that's the message. We've played some good hockey games. We haven't been able to close out some of the games the way we've liked. A couple of them, are on us. A couple of them, some strange bounces, like last game against Carolina. We felt we played one of our better games, and we had, unfortunately, we had that incident at the end where we lose our stick. So, but the message is we're 3 points out of a playoff spot. We have a competitive group here. Nothing changed as far as our end goal. Obviously, we want to try to make the playoffs, and we're going to do everything we can in our power to get there.
Well, with the exception of the challenges of just putting a lineup together, what challenges do you face today against Tampa Bay?
Well, one of the better offensive teams in the National Hockey League. I think, you look across the board, all their numbers, they drive a lot of offense, whether it be off the rush or in the zone. So that's the number one thing. The power play is obviously still dangerous. I think they're 5 or 6 in the league. So puck management, playing well without the puck, making good decisions like we did against Carolina. Our puck support was really strong against the Hurricanes. I thought that has to continue here today and make them defend. They have one of the best goalies in the world, but we can get some action on him. I think that we can hang on to pucks in the offensive zone a little better and then try to, break down their coverage at times and get some opportunities for us.
All right, Joe, appreciate the time. Good luck today.
Okay, thanks.
There's Joe Sacco. Bruins and Lightning are coming up next. 22 seconds left, and a giveaway right in front of the net. They score! Zadorov's stick broke, and Seth Jarvis takes advantage. Thursday's loss in Carolina was a crushing blow to the Bruins' playoff hopes, and it also turned out to be the end of an era in Boston.
Clearly, we looked at the opportunities in front of us to change the direction of things without just tearing things down. And that's not been part of the DNA of this organization and won't be.
Now, after monumental changes to the roster, what's left of the Bruins core will have to turn their focus to a red-hot Tampa Bay team that's geared up for the playoffs. It's the Bruins and Lightning coming up next.
Boston Bruins hockey is driven by the stylish Honda Accord, available at your local New England Honda dealers.
Cross to Esposito, his shot. No!
Dan Neely.
Nathan Horton wins Game 7 in overtime. David Pastrnak wins the series for the Bruins. A chance in front, score, and it's Geeky again.
The Bruins are brought to you by VA New England, Granite City Electric GCE Nitrate, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Coors Banquet, Bosch Tools, your New England Ford dealers, Live Nation, Safety Insurance, Peerless Boilers, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
Backhand, it'll save Thomas. Sweeney made a great stop at the far post.
And by Town Fair Tire, TD Bank, your Boston area Nissan dealers, Charles D. Sheehy, Ticketmaster, Dairy Queen, McGovern Auto Group, Hub International New England, Timberline Construction, your Eastern Region Lexus dealers, and by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Back to Orr. Put in. His 100th point. Backhand score on a penalty shot for Raymond Gordon. David Pastrnak calls game, and the Bruins win it 2-1. Bergeron, and the Bruins win the series.
Now, here's Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers.
And we're in Tampa, Florida for the third of 4 meetings on the season between the Bruins and the Tampa Bay Lightning. We've come to the time of the broadcast where I ask you about the keys to the game. I'm not sure how you get keys to the game when you got guys who are still introducing themselves to in the locker room before today's tilt.
Yes, it's been a bizarre 24 hours, even beyond that, I guess, if you go back to the Trent Frederick trade. But certainly yesterday was a crazy day, and a lot of people scratching their heads and still trying to wrap their heads around, all the moves that were made and, some of the quality individuals that are going out of the locker room here and then will not be Bruins here moving forward. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So the one thing that we talked about the other day against Carolina is, control. You try to put the trade deadline out of your minds and control your work ethic. I thought they did that. They did that great, actually, in that Carolina game. They got a couple of bad breaks and ended up on the short end. They should have won that hockey game. But you come into today, and it's about controlling your work ethic, because I don't have anything else for you right now. I mean, the first line's the same, the fourth line's the same, and everything else is different. So this is going to be a really interesting day, and you hope that the new players that are coming in can give you a spark. A guy like Middlestad, who we haven't really talked about yet, he can be a real impact player, very skilled guy, high first-round pick of the Buffalo Sabres before he got traded to Colorado. Certainly a skilled guy that can help on the power play. We'll see what the rest of the players are able to give you. We know what Lauko can give you because he was here before and a draft pick of the Bruins. So it's going to be very interesting to see how things gel here together. Who knows? They come out with a win here today. After all the changes that are made, crazier things have happened. But control your work ethic, control what you can control, and that's how hard you work here in this game, and try to stay disciplined against a really potent power play in the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Today's Keys to the Game brought to you by Town Fair Tire. For the guaranteed lowest prices on tires, go to Town Fair Tire, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Opening face-off is next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
The Lumineers. The Automatic World Tour. Due to popular demand, second show added July 17th at Fenway Park. With special guests, Young the Giant and Hippocampus. Tickets on sale now at redsox.com/The Lumineers. The Lumineers. Pick up their new album, Automatic, out now.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went...
I'm so excited.
Yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
This is completely unacceptable. High inflation rates are actually preventing people from retiring, simply because they just don't know what their money will be worth in the coming months and years. This is exactly why thousands are turning to Goldco, the top-rated gold company, to diversify their savings with time-tested safe haven assets, physical gold and silver. Goldco doesn't want your hard-earned money to go down the government's drain. This is so important that right now, not only is Goldco offering a free gold and silver kit, but on qualified purchases, they'll give you up to a 10% instant match in bonus silver. Don't wait any longer. Call 855-GOLD-IRA. Diversify and protect your savings from an inept government with physical gold and silver and get a return on your money. This offer will only last until all the bonus silver is gone, so act now. Call 855-GOLD-IRA. That's 855-GOLD-IRA.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
Back here in Tampa at Amalie Arena, where the Bruins visit the Lightning for the second time this season. Boston coming in with just one win in their last 9 games, and obviously a very much revamped lineup after yesterday's trade deadline, taking on a Lightning team that has collected 23 of a possible 26 points, 11-1-1 in their last 13. Let's go down and get today's national anthem before they drop the puck.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star Star-Spangled Banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Opening face-off between the Bruins and the Lightning coming up here. We look at our starting lineups for this afternoon. In goal for the Lightning is Andrei Vasilevsky. On defense, the pairing of Eric Chernak and Ryan McDonough. And up front, it's Nick Paul, Brandon Hagel, and Anthony Cirelli. For the Bruins, Jeremy Swayman gets the starting goal. Andrew Peak and Mason Lohrei, your defensemen up front. Pavel Zacha, Morgan Geekie, and David Pastrnak. Starting lineups are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SportsHub. That's code SportsHub for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
And the first 5 minutes of today's game presented by your New England Ford dealers. Today's New England Ford dealers' first 5 contestant of the game is Katrina Beers of Avon, Massachusetts. No relation to the man to my left here. If the Bruins score in the first 5 minutes, Katrina will win a pair of tickets to a future Bruins game courtesy of the New England Ford dealers. Enter the contest at 985thesportshub.com. Bruins get the opening face-off and get it deep into the Tampa Bay zone. On the road here, they'll attack from right to left as Geekie out of the right corner spins it in behind the net, looking for Pastrnak, shoved toward the near side wall, and his pass directed up into the air. It'll be dragged forward here by the Lightning. Pass off to the right side, out of the reach of Nick Paul. Zacha turns it back the other direction. Pass to Geekie, kicked it onto his stick coming through center ice. Now leaves it along the right wing side. Zacha goes and chases it down. Leaves it back to the point. Yoki Harju a drive and the save made as the puck comes to Pastrnak along the near side. Henry Jokiharju picked up in a trade yesterday, making his Bruins debut. He goes down in front of the net here as Geekie throws one toward the net that angled back toward him along the near circle. Now it's Cirelli to play it off the near boards and out.
Say it.
Husnudinov will carry the puck into the attack zone. Marat Husnudinov came over in the trade from Minnesota for Justin Brazeau. He gives off to Lauko, who's in that same boat as his shot hits the outside of Vasilevsky's net.
Yeah, they're playing alongside Elias Lindholm here today, so very different line mates for Lindholm.
Wotherspoon pushed it down that far wall. Zadorov now with a shot. That one gets blocked. Husnudinov will chase it into the near corner, brings it back toward the hash marks. Wotherspoon out of the blue line. He'll play it into the far corner, and it wraps in behind the net. It'll come all the way back around, and Wotherspoon's going to go get it himself. Takes a hit and knocked off the puck. Lauko stays with it. Now Wotherspoon will twist it back in behind the net. We get our first look at Casey Middlestad along the far side.
We're in Trent Fredericks, number 11.
Kepke along the end wall. And Middlestad typically has worn 37 in his career. That one's taken.
No, that's not available.
Shot blocked off the stick of Kepke. It'll come out into neutral ice. Wotherspoon from center will bring it right back in. Gives to Vinny Laterio on the left circle. A low shot and a stick saved by Vasilevsky. Near side boards. And Laterio able to poke one free. And now it's Kucherov to deal it out here for Tampa Bay.
Good energy to start this game. First couple of minutes. We've got 3 lines. It's all been down in Tampa's zone. Not much has gotten to Vasilevsky, but the energy's been there.
There's Yanni Gourde just inside the Boston zone. Bjorkstrand, the two of them picked up from Seattle earlier this week by Tampa Bay.
Love those pickups for Tampa. Really do. I mean, Gourde's a heart and soul kind of guy. He's a playoff type of player. And Bjorkstrand can score. He's a good hockey player. Maybe a little underrated.
Yeah. Puck comes around behind Swayman. They'll deal it out into neutral ice. Mark Kastelik along the far boards. Puts a shoulder into Chafee.
Yeah, as we said, first line, fourth line stay the same for the Bruins. Everything else is jumbled up.
Off the dump in. Puck came out in front of Vasilevsky. Lilleberg retreated back behind his net and got hammered by Kastelik.
Lilleberg's the guy that had the cross check on Kastelik. Kastelik didn't play the next time these two teams played. Remember, Frederick fought him.
Right.
Kaslik tried to finish him hard there behind the net. Guys have long memories, trust me.
And that happened with about 2 seconds to go in that game here in Tampa.
And I gave him credit for answering for it. Littleberg did. He fought Kaslik at the time, but Kaslik was obviously concussed.
Right.
Whether it happened in the fight or with the hit or as he hit the ice. But Littleberg answered when they played next against Trent Frederick, and I gave him full marks for that.
There's Pavel Zacha getting it across the blue line to Pasternak, a shot, and the pad save. Vasilevsky along the near boards, pinching down the wall. Zadorov put a hit on Kucherov, but kept alive by Geekie out at the blue line. His shot blocked near circle, comes into the slot. Pasternak tapped it free. Geekie got it back to him, and as he tried to return it to Geekie, Geekie was held off it by Braden Point.
We should mention no Victor Hedman here today for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yep. Left their last game with an injury. Did go through warm-ups today, but they decided not to put him out on the ice in the game. Tampa, as I mentioned before, has won 11 of their last 13 coming into this one, comfortably in a playoff spot.
Yeah, this game has a much different feeling than some of the other games that we've seen down here in Tampa, coming into it.
Brought around behind Swayman's net. They get it back off for Paul, and his shot from the tops of the circles ends up going up and out of play.
Yeah, I mean, the feel coming into this one is just, it was funny. Their PR people were saying, do you need anything on us? And I'm like, no, it's kind of going to be dominated by the Bruins today with all the changes that they've made coming into this game. And, we hit on it in the pregame show. It's tough to see some of the guys that went out the door. The Bruins have now said, okay, we're going to remake this thing, and now it's up to the Bruins to be able to develop the players, the prospects that they picked up, to draft and develop the picks that they have, and it's been a challenge. I mean, you look down in the lineup today for the Bruins.
Chance there for Hagel as he misfired.
Matt Potter's not in the lineup, but out of the 20 players that are dressed for the Bruins today, only 5 of them are draft picks for the Bruins.
Right.
So that has to be a focus of theirs moving forward. If they're going to replenish the cupboard, so to speak, and get some of these prospects and draft picks, then it has to start with that and how well they do. And I know that the scouts they do all their work, and then they say, well, we don't even have any draft picks because they traded them out. And I get that. I understand that. You're going for it. But now it's up to them to do a strong job in, identifying good talent and making the right picks.
The other part of that, too, is that, a good chunk of the draft picks that were acquired are not necessarily this year.
Right.
It's over the next 2 or 3 years forward here.
I mean, it's going to be more free agency this offseason, right?
Yeah. Well, they've got, I think, close to $28 million of cap space going into the offseason.
You still have to re-sign a few guys that are in your lineup today, including Morgan Geekie. But
chance for Lindholm in front did not.
But free agency is going to, and it's the free agents they signed last summer, which is Zadorov and Lindholm, honestly have not met expectations. So, you have to be able to identify the right people, sign the right people, and, start to build again here.
Trying to get out of his own zone here was Luke Glendening. Took a hit from Koepke. Puck comes through the neutral ice and back into Boston territory, but it's an icing here against Tampa. With 13:38 left here in the first period, no score in Tampa. Bruins have 5 of the first 6 shots so far.
Well, they've had good energy to start this game. No question. It's just, I don't think they're magically going to be able to score. Based on the changes you've made, but I know this is a tough day, Ryan. It really is.
It's an odd feeling.
It really is.
Yeah.
And just being around the team as much as we are, it's a strange feeling.
We got a penalty coming up here.
Offside.
Okay, so we will step aside with 13:28 left in this first period. Bruins and the Lightning are scoreless here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
You can shop during this ad by saying, Alexa, add to cart. You are bountiful. Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails fruit pectin gummies with collagen and biotin, plus antioxidants C and E, help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
The first 5 minutes of today's game were brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Start your 2025 in a new F-Series, America's best-selling trucks, for 48 straight years. There was, in fact, a penalty here before the break. Casey Middlestat whistled off for high sticking, and so Tampa will get an early power play.
Well, you're right on that, Ryan. I missed it, and Nesson's not doing the game today, so we get no replay, so we'll just take their word for it.
Middlestat coming over in the Charlie Coyle trade. 63 games in Colorado this year, 11 goals, 23 assists, 34 points. Not quite up to the standards that he had set in the last couple of seasons when he was up around the 60-point mark each year. As the Bruins will get it quickly cleared here off of the faceoff. Lightning moving from left to right as it's Radish dropping it off in his own zone for Braden Point. Point 13 power play goals on the season. Kucherov lost it coming into the Bruins zone, and Zadorov will send it all the way down.
Yeah, so far, I know it's early. It's only 7 minutes into the game. Tampa's they're looking at, you go over the lineup sheets before games. Tampa's looking at the lineup for the Bruins and saying, it's an afternoon game. They're 11-1-1 in their last 13. Right. They've played like they're taking it pretty lightly.
Here's Kucherov, left wing side, and a shot. That time by Bjorkstrand. Goes up and over. Center of the blue line. They work it down to Kucherov of the right circle. Quickly looking in front for Point, but that one batted away. And it'll skim out across the blue line. And now Zadorov with a chance to clear all the way down, and he does. 55 seconds left on the penalty to Casey Middlestat. Braden Point going to carry it into the Boston zone. Along the far boards, Bjorkstrand. Hit knocked down by Kastelik, and back down ice it goes. Courtesy of Wotherspoon. Ryan McDonough will try his hand at it now for Tampa. Lightning in black from head to toe today with white numbers. As the puck brought into the Boston zone, Cirelli dropped it along the far boards, angled back toward the point by Gord. Now Paul in the right wing circle. They get it back up to McDonough, center of the blue line. Onto that left side, and a pass across the ice got blocked. Played out of the corner in behind Swayman. Far circle, and it's banked off the boards and out by the Bruins' Patrick Brown. Dumped back in by Cirelli. Wotherspoon first to it in the far corner. Brings back along the end boards. Gets ridden to the wall by Hagel. Lorai getting a stick in there as well. Power play will come to an end. Middlestat comes out of the box and joins the play. On the far side circle. Pass came all the way across to the near side, and Hagel from a tough angle. Swayman made it all the way across to his left on the save.
Good save made by Swayman. He's going to come all the way to the post there to seal that off, and Hagel had some room. He wasn't able to one-time it, but he got a pretty good shot away.
Bruins get whistled for an icing coming out of their defensive zone, so bring the face-off back down towards Swayman. 10 to go here in a scoreless first period.
Yeah, it was right after the power play had expired. Middlestat back on ice now. That group will have to stay out there. Kastelik. Had just gone off. I don't know if he is he injured? Bruins now are going to replace him. He's down there getting looked by the training staff down at the end of the bench.
Maybe an equipment issue. I think Keith Robinson just
that's good.
Went up the tunnel to grab something. So here's Lohrei.
Keith Robinson's been busy.
a lot of new sweaters to prepare.
Usnadinov, you were able to fit that in on the jersey?
As the puck wrapped around behind Vasilevsky and Pasternak forcing it in front. Now it comes in behind once again. Spent some time with Usnadinov in the locker room after practice yesterday, having him pronounce his name over and over again for me. Pasternak poked it along in that far corner to come back in behind the net, trying to get it out in front, but denied. Glendening there for the Lightning. Finally, the puck comes free. Gergensons in the far corner gets locked up against Middlestat. They'll come back toward the near side corner and played back into the neutral ice. Zadorov makes the play to keep it away from Chaffee near the Boston blue line. Now it's Geekie back into the Tampa Bay zone. Gives over to Jokiharju. His shot got blocked in front, and Pasternak nearly had a chance at it as Lindholm batted it in his direction, but Vasilevsky closes the door and covers it up.
Yeah, a couple opportunities there. Vasilevsky making the save. I don't think they got all of it on that initial try. Kucherov in some pain going off the ice right now as he goes for a line change, but Pasternak was tied up there by Glendening right at the side of the net, and then Vasilevsky able to locate that puck before any more damage could be done. Yeah, Kucherov took, I don't know if he took a stick or took a... He's in some pain right now on the Tampa bench. Already without Edmund, we mentioned.
Kucherov, 92 points in 59 games this season coming into this one.
Tended to by Tommy Mulligan, the longtime trainer of the Providence Bruins, before coming to Tampa and having the success that they've had.
Not a bad place to be, hockey-wise and otherwise. Off the far wall, puck came popping free onto the skate of Elias Lindholm. Helps to kick it out of the zone. McDonough going to reverse it back into Tampa Bay territory. Herbix gives to Braden Point. Under 9.5 minutes to play here in the first period. Neither team's found the back of the net yet. Herbix with Lettieri shadowing him in front of the net here for Boston. Herbix will go up the left wing side. Deflected pass finds Casey Middlestat. He'll bring the Bruins back ahead. Middlestat down the right wing circle. Swept away from him by Cirelli. Pinching on the far wall was Mitchell to keep that puck in deep. Now out of the corner, it's Herbix again. Finds some space in the middle of his own zone. Deals a pass up the left side for Cirelli. Carried into the Boston zone. Dropped it off. And it'll be wound deep by Lilleberg. Hagel goes behind the net here for Tampa. Cuts back toward the near corner. On to Paul, right circle. Back up top. Radish a drive, and that one knocked aside. Out of the far corner, a centering pass, and on the inside of the circle, an opportunity for Cirelli. But Bruins clear it, and Wotherspoon will dump it from the red line. Boston changing things up. Tampa Bay will start forward with Cirelli from his own blue line. Pass deflected in the neutral zone and out of play off the stick of Henry Jokiharju. So we'll take a break with 8:13 to go here in the first period. Bruins and Lightning scoreless on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went...
I'm so excited.
Yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
It's time to start a healthy relationship with your money. With Navigant Credit Union, there are no hidden fees, great interest rates, and support that puts you first. Make the switch today. Navigant Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Felger and Maz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub.
Bruins and Lightning scoreless. We've got 8:13 left here in the first period. And fans, the Bruins will return home to TD Garden coming up this Tuesday night. Take on the Florida Panthers starting at 7 p.m. You can grab a front row seat for all the action. Visit bostonbruins.com/tickets and lock in your seats.
You will not see Brad Marchand play.
Yeah.
Not ready to play yet.
Not yet.
Hopefully back soon for him.
Word after the trade yesterday, the Bruins were expecting that he was likely to miss 3 to 4 weeks. Puck brought in behind the Tampa Bay net, wrapped around the far side. Bjorkstrand will play it through the neutral zone. On his horse to get after that is Gonsalves deep in Boston territory. Peak got a hit in the near corner on Yanni Gourde to help free it up. Bruins get it out. Chernak coming back into his own zone for Tampa. And a lengthy pass through the neutral ice. Controlled now by Mason Lohrei for the Bruins. That pass directed deep off of Pasternak. Vasilevsky wraps it around the far glass. Taken off the wall by Geekie. Hammers it back around the near side. Pasternak just south of the hash marks. Takes a bump. Back to Zadorov at the point. Over to Jokiharju and a shot gloved by Vasilevsky. He hangs on.
Between the Pipes is sponsored by Charles D. Sheehy. If you're in the piping trades, you need to call Charles D. Sheehy, Boston's premier piping and mechanical product supplier. CDS is your local leader. Between the Pipes this afternoon for the Tampa Bay Lightning is Andre Vasilevsky, and for the Bruins, Jeremy Swayman.
Vasilevsky 30, 16, and 3 in 49 starts this year with a 2.24 goals against and a .922 save percentage. Jeremy Swayman coming off in a 5-goal against appearance against Nashville on Tuesday night, his last outing. Scorpusalo got the start on Thursday in Carolina. On the near side, Lauko able to take one away and keep it in the zone. Lindholm out of the near corner hit the outside of the net as he tried to whip one toward the Vasilevsky's crease. Cirelli moved it back up ice here for Tampa. Steps in across the Boston line. Perbix right back to Cirelli along the half wall. His shot blocked off of Lauko into the air. It's gloved down and kept alive by Lilleberg. Gave it up and got it right back from Hagel. Too wide of the net. Comes around to Cirelli. Now back in front. A chance for Hagel and a good stop by Swayman. Near side corner. Pursuing it was Zadorov. Cirelli pushed it past him and down to Paul in behind the net. Thrown back in front. Ricocheted off a couple of bodies and comes out to the blue line, but held in by Perbix. 6:28 to go here in the period. Off to that far side. Lilleberg will play it down toward the corner. But Jokiharju caught a high stick.
He took a high stick. Bruins are going to go with power play.
Brandon Hagel's going to go off. High sticking one of the newest Bruins, the defenseman Henry Jokiharju, came over from Buffalo yesterday.
Just a 2-minute penalty. Jokiharju talking to the referee, but yeah, 200 feet away for Hagel. You don't like to see those penalties if you're Tampa, but he's had a terrific year. He's not too happy about it either.
Tampa Bay penalty, number 38, 2 minutes, high sticking.
Hagel, a member of the Canadian Four Nations team, 70 points, including 30 goals in 62 games this year.
Yeah, the stick was up. Jokiharju made sure that the referee saw it, but the stick was up.
So Bruins power play gets underway here with 6:15 to go in the period. Sacco moving through the high slot, took a shot. Just wide on the glove side. Tracks it down, got it from Middlestat. on that far side circle.
Boy, the pressure, that's a defense. That's McDonough pressuring all the way up high there on Middlestat.
And McDonough able to get a clear here as the puck trickles down towards Swayman. Mason Lohrei will pick it up. Brought through the neutral ice. Middlestat tipped along by Pasternak. Chases it down himself. Moves it towards Zacha. Now on to Lohrei near the left point. Top of the left circle. Geekie fires a shot up and over the net. And that one ricocheted out of play.
Yeah, Geekie that time in the bumper getting that shot away. Gets a little pass from the left point. And insert Middlestat onto this unit here. I mean, you haven't had any time to practice, obviously. So interesting to see exactly where he fits. He's certainly a skilled guy, and you want to put him in a position to succeed. And he's someone that can make plays, and they could use that. Obviously, it's been a slog all year long on the power play for the Bruins.
Middlestat in his 8th year in the league. Spent about 6.5 years in Buffalo before being traded to Colorado. And one day past his 1-year anniversary with the Avalanche, he gets dealt back to Boston. Lohrei in the far corner of the Bruins zone. Going to drag it out toward his own blue line. Leaves it for Pasternak. Flips it off to the right wing side. Geekie. Shoved by McDonough. Zacha will keep it moving. Brings it in south of the goal line. Jumped up in the air. Chernak waving at it with a glove. 50 seconds to go on the power play. And there's a takeaway by Cirelli. He'll work his way up ice. He's got some help coming down the middle. Gives to McDonough the trailer, and his shot turned aside by Swayman. Back to the near circle. Cirelli a turnaround shot.
Yeah.
And Swayman turned that away as well.
Good hustle by Middlestat coming all the way back, and he negates the 2-on-1, makes it a 2-on-2, but it ended up being McDonough coming late.
Here's Gensel on the right wing side for the Lightning. 23 to go in the Bruins power play, but they're in their defensive zone.
Gensel coming off a hat trick of his own last game.
Shoved out into the neutral ice. Moser going to drop it back toward his own end, and now Tampa will send it all the way back down. Just 8 seconds left on the penalty here to Hagel. Ian Mitchell up the right side. Pumped in by Jokiharju. Wrapped back around the far side. Taken off the wall. Glendening has it pressed up against the boards with Lettieri in there. Puck frozen, not moving.
Like a rugby scrum. Nothing going on.
Crowd starting to get anxious as the puck comes out finally toward the blue line, and Elias Lindholm will sweep it back around behind Vasilevsky. He comes out to play it. Got pressured by Beecher. Helped force a turnover in that far corner, but as it came back toward the slot, it'll be Gergensons to skate away with it. Neutral ice. And the puck turned back over to the Bruins. We approach 3.5 minutes to go in this first period. Long pass up the left side. Tipped in deep here by Patrick Brown. Beecher goes in along the end boards against Perbix. Squirted free toward the side of the net, but Braden Point will skate away with it. Now Kucherov brings it across the Boston line. Slips away from a check from Kastelik, but then turned over with some support to Beecher. Lightning have it back at their own blue line. Bjorkstrand gives it toward the near side for Perbix.
Kastelik, who had the equipment issue earlier, just blew a tire.
Here's a shot and a save made by Swayman. He hangs on to it.
He's like, he just went to the bench. Like, it's not fixed yet.
We've got 2:53 to go here in the first period. Bruins and Lightning are scoreless here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
How easy does Apartments.com's 3D virtual tours make finding a new home? Well, I bet you could even do it while soaking in a clawfoot tub, wrestling a giant Pacific octopus. And that's not rhetorical, is it, Craig?
No, sir. Look at that balcony. And there's an in-unit washer dryer. I mean, this townhouse is just stunning. Why are you so strong?
You see, our 3D virtual tours make it easy peasy, octopus squeezy.
I yield.
Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club. Politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize. And turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. all while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Warning! Inflation is back on the rise. The national debt is spiraling out of control. The stock market has been at an all-time high, and wars continue to rage across the globe. Experts are predicting a massive economic crash for 2025, and you should be ready. Will you sit on the sidelines and wait, or will you take action today to help protect your hard-earned retirement savings? Right now, you can get a free gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco, where you'll learn why tens of thousands of hardworking Americans and even the world's central banks are turning to precious metals to help protect and diversify their money. Get your free gold and silver kit from Goldco by calling 855-GOLD-IRA. You could even receive up to a 10% instant match on bonus silver for qualified accounts. Don't let your financial future slip through your fingers. Learn why so many Americans are diversifying with gold and silver today. Call 855-GOLD-IRA. That's 855-GOLD-IRA.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
2:53 to go in the first period. Bruins and Lightning scoreless. Bruins 0 for 1 on the power play, and that first power play brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. Engineered for efficiency, comfort, and ease, Bosch Power Tools are built to keep workers going at full strength. Bosch Power Tools, what hard workers deserve. There'll be a face-off coming up in the defensive zone here for Boston. These two teams will meet again a week from tonight in Boston at TD Garden for their fourth and final tilt of the season. They tried to drop the puck, and Yanni Gourde's going to get asked to leave the face-off circle. So Kastelik opposed by Bjorkstrand. Bruins will get the puck out of the zone, but Patrick Brown got stood up. Kastelik's having some words here, and he's going to drop the gloves with Lilleberg. And they're in a serious wrestling match up against the glass in the far corner. Neither guy's been able to get an arm free. Now Kastelik hits Lilleberg in the back of the head with a right, lands another right on the side of the noggin, and Kastelik with his back up against the glass now turns Lilleberg up into the glass in that far corner, throws another right, has Lilleberg off balance, and the officials are going to jump in and separate them. And Beersy, you mentioned the history between those two from earlier this year.
Yeah, like Lilleberg, in my mind, he answered the bell when Tampa played against the Bruins and he fought Frederick, but he didn't. Kastelik still has his own bell that he needs to answer, right? And he took that cross check from Lilleberg right at the end of the game, and I'll give Lilleberg, that was more of a wrestling match than anything. Lilleberg was kind of holding on there. You know, but
Tampa,
he answered the bell.
And Boston, number 47, each have 5 minutes for fighting. As well, Boston, number 47, has a minor penalty, unsportsmanlike conduct.
So that's in lieu of instigator.
Right.
They could give Kastelik instigator, which would be 2, 5, and 10. Instead, they give him 2 for unsportsmanlike and 5 for fighting. They don't tack on the extra 10. They just call it unsportsmanlike instead of instigator. That's doing him a kind of a favor.
Yeah.
And credit the referees for that one in terms of kind of understanding. There's a score to be settled here.
Referee Garrett Rank over talking with Joe Sacco about that with 2:42 to go here in the first.
I mean, Joe's not happy. He didn't think that he instigated it, but I mean, he kind of did.
I mean, yeah.
He was looking for it earlier.
10th fighting major of the year for Mark Kastelik. Second of them that has been opposed by Emil Lilleberg. So the faceoff will be in the Bruins defensive zone. Vinny Lettieri will come and serve the minor penalty to Kastelik. Both he and Lilleberg sent to the locker rooms with 2:42 to go in the period. And off the faceoff, puck in the near corners. Zadorov able to push it up ice here, and Zaka's got it through the neutral zone off to the right side for Lindholm, ridden into the far corner by Bjorkstrand, and they get tangled up in pursuit of the puck. Zaka and Radish now are tied up in that corner. With 2:20 to play in the period and a minute 38 to go on the Kastelik minor. Puck will be wrapped back around behind the net here by Gensel, thrown back out in front, a chance by Sacco, got blocked, and then Lindholm nearly had an opportunity as well. Instead, the Lightning will start back up ice as Point carries up into the red line, then turns it over, and Beecher will send it back down toward Vasilevsky. Minute 12 to go on the Tampa power play. Radish drops one back, and Kucherov will carry it ahead. Skates in across the Boston line, cutting to his left. Puck jumped away from him, but it's kept alive, and Radish gives it up and gets it right back, standing at the center of the blue line. On to the left side, back up top to Radish again. Right circle Kucherov. His pass redirected up and out of play off the block by Laura.
Good PK so far for the Bruins. Tampa looks like they're a little bit on. I'm watching Kucherov for a lot of this period. He looks like he's just on cruise control. Right? He's just hanging out. I know he got injured or banged up a little bit earlier in the period, but you just kind of watch him. He's just kind of floating right now. And it's, you know, the trade deadline ends and everybody takes a breath, right? And that's what this game looks like so far.
Right. There's been 11 total shots in this first period so far.
For Tampa, it means something. I mean, the Bruins haven't had a shot since, what, the 3-minute mark of the first period.
Somewhere in there.
You know, they're still stuck on 5. But it means something for Tampa. When you look at the standings, and you got Florida, Toronto, Tampa, in no particular order, and two of those teams are going to have to play each other first round. One of them's going home in the first round. So I think, you know, finishing first is like,
there's a big bonus there.
It's huge, right? I mean, in order to get to the third round, you got to beat two really good teams. I mean, you probably have to face 3 really good teams, but you just kind of look at how it's slotted. If you're second or third, a real good team is going home early.
Lettieri will step out of the penalty box here. Tampa now 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Puck deep in the Boston zone. Henry Jokiharju going to wrap it around the far side. And the Bruins will clear it out with Lori skating forward along the left wing side. Throws it in front all the way to the far side. And Middlestat tried to get it back toward the slot, but taken away. Final 20 seconds of the period. Chernak will dump one in from the red line. It ricocheted off a stanchion, came back toward the near circle, and fired down ice by Lori. Pasternak in behind the defense, so Vasilevsky played it away. And the Lightning will clear it out. Here's Geeky at center ice, and he'll drop it back, and that's going to do it for period number 1. So the Bruins, the new look Bruins, and the Lightning scoreless through the first 20 minutes here in Tampa. We'll be back with our first intermission coming up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Worried about what ingredients are hiding in your groceries? Let us take the guesswork out. We're Thrive Market, the online grocery store with the highest quality standards in the industry. We restrict 1,000 plus ingredients, so you can trust that you'll only find the best high quality, organic, and sustainable brands, all free of the junk. With savings up to 30% off and fast carbon neutral shipping, you get top trusted groceries at your door, and you can stop worrying about what your kids get their hands on. Start shopping at thrivemarket.com/get started for 30% off your first order and a free gift.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Warning! Inflation is back on the rise. The national debt is spiraling out of control. The stock market has been at an all-time high, and wars continue to rage across the globe. Experts are predicting a massive economic crash for 2025, and you should be ready. Will you sit on the sidelines and wait, or will you take action today to help protect your hard-earned retirement savings? Right now, you can get a free gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco, where you'll learn why tens of thousands of hardworking Americans Americans, and even the world's central banks are turning to precious metals to help protect and diversify their money. Get your free gold and silver kit from Goldco by calling 855-GOLD-IRA. You could even receive up to a 10% instant match on bonus silver for qualified accounts. Don't let your financial future slip through your fingers. Learn why so many Americans are diversifying with gold and silver today. Call 855-GOLD-IRA. That's 855-GOLD-IRA.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Connect with Boston's Home for Sports online.
Lacking for the most part so far this year. They'll get that. They should get that from those two players. Brad Marchand playing here today, first NHL game. He's the guy that, he brings it every shift. And I remember talking to Rob Murray, who's the head coach in Providence, talking to him during training camp, and he was explaining to me about Marchand, what his thoughts were about him, saying, look, he first saw him in training camp and said, all right, this guy will start to tail off a little bit. He works really hard, but it's just training camp. He's trying to impress people. Every day in practice, every game, every shift, this guy brought it. So they will get that energy from Marchand.
Ryder a backhand, and he scores! Michael Ryder from the left wing circle on a loose puck early in the second, and the game is tied. Zdeno Chara immediately went to pick up the puck. That's Brad Marchand. Should get an assist on that goal to be his first NHL point in his first game. Connolly's pass back up the line, picked off by Marchand, and he's going to break away shorthanded to the net. Shot! Score! Brad Marchand's first NHL goal comes shorthanded, and it's 1-0 Bruins. Bruce center had a poke checked away by Ferentz. Loose puck to Marchand, banks it to himself up the right wing. Marchand going towards the net. He's free, put it on net, and he scores! What a goal by Brad Marchand, shorthanded, to give the Bruins a 3-0 lead. Across right circle, it's fired. They score! Brad Marchand from the far circle whistles in a one-timer. 39 seconds into overtime. In front for Marchand. Point blank. Score on the rebound. Wolf made the initial save. Marchand following his own shot. Wins it for the Bruins 4-3. Some of the highlights of the early portion of the career and the late portion of the career of Brad Marchand. Traded yesterday. After
somewhere along the line, it went from Marchand to Marchand.
You mentioned that on the hockey show this morning. That was his doing, by the way.
It was, and the funny thing about that was, so he did a couple commercials on the Sports Hub, right? And he said, "Hi, this is Brad Marchand." Yeah. And I've heard him on the bus before say it that way. And then when I think I was talking about it this morning, national broadcasts would come in and say, "Okay, how do you pronounce his name?" Or even with Jack Edwards, and he would have fun with it. He'd be like, Marchand. Yeah. And he just liked to screw with people, which is just what he always did anyhow. So, and always does. So he eventually, we went with Marchand and we stuck with it. And we weren't changing. Even though TV was calling him Marchand, we were calling him Marchand. Now that Judd has moved over to TV, they call him Marchand now too. And you hear it called differently. We've talked to people in Canada. I saw one guy in Canada. He says, "I'm from Canada. I know how to pronounce his name." And I say, "Okay, see you later then. You know more than I do then. All right." Well, if you say so.
Well, however you pronounce it, 1,090 games in a Bruins uniform. 422 goals, which is just behind Patrice Bergeron in the standings. Interesting to hear that first goal, the shorthanded goal, 36 shorthanded goals during the course of his career, which is 8th all-time in the NHL.
Most among Bruins.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a huge part of who he's been as a player here over these many years.
It's just a small piece of what he's been. I mean, he just meant so much to this team. I mean, him and Bergeron attached at the hip since they won the Stanley Cup. He came in, so you heard that clip right off the bat. We were talking about the energy that Marchand can bring and, what he did in Providence and how he, I talked, and it was funny because, you talk to some national people and they're like, he'll never make it in the NHL. He's just too small and he's a one-trick guy. He's just, he's a disturber, he's a pain to play against, but he's not going to make it in the NHL. He's borderline Hall of Famer right now, and that doesn't even include what he's going to continue to do, hopefully throughout his career. But and immediately coming up, he starts on the fourth line, and eventually plays himself into that role alongside Patrice Bergeron, whether it was the first line or second line, however you want to look at it there, in 2011. But, you know, he wins a World Cup with Team Canada, with Bergeron on the right and Crosby in the middle. You know, he goes on to win the Four Nations Cup. Will he be on the Olympics next year? Probably, based on the way that he played in the Four Nations. You know, he might not be at the top of his game like some other player, but he brings you something. He brings another, and he's willing to accept a role to get the job done. And he's been a big game player because of it. One quick story about Marchand before we have to go to break is, you know, end of the year meetings, exit meetings. Yeah. He had 20 goals playing with Claude Julien, and Claude, you know, said, "Hey, nice season. You had 20 goals. You know, we hope you can improve on it." And Marchand's comment to him was, "Well, if you would have played me on the power play, I would have had a lot more." That's before he had earned the respect or the trust of the coaches to play on the power play.
A tremendous personality, a tremendous character in this game, and a guy who certainly will be missed around this organization as he was traded to Florida yesterday. Bruins and the Lightning are scoreless through one period of play here in Tampa. We will check the other action from around the NHL when we come back as part of our first intermission here on the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
There are lots of reasons to get excited for spring. Warmer weather, get-togethers, and now new spring arrivals from your favorite brands at Macy's. Even more exciting, refresh your beauty routine at our Buy More, Save More event. Pick up new skincare, makeup, and fragrances from Estee Lauder, Valentino, MAC, and more. And save $30 with every $150 you spend. The more you spend, the more you save. Don't wait. Beauty deals this good won't last long. Hurry into Macy's today. Savings off regular price beauty and fragrance. Exclusions apply.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super-sized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
Etsy is here with some New Year inspiration. You can refresh your home with linen bedding under $150 and handmade jackets under $100 from small shops. For home and style finds to help you start fresh, Etsy has it.
Hey, it's Dennis Quaid here. There's a pressing issue that still needs attention: the state of our retirement savings. We're dealing with $36 trillion in debt, and the interest on that debt is now greater than our entire defense budget for the first time in history. And with global tension still high, it's more important than ever to help secure your financial future. That's why I partnered with a great company, Goldco, who is offering you a free copy of their Gold and Silver Kit. The kit contains vital information to help you navigate the current economic landscape and offers strategies to help you protect your life savings. Get a free Gold and Silver Kit to get the facts and make a decision that's right for you and your family by calling 855-GOLD-IRA. You may even qualify for free bonus silver plus a free Ronald Reagan silver coin. Call 855-GOLD-IRA. That's 855-GOLD-IRA.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZFM at HD Boston, 98.5, the Sports Hub. Easily Media Group Station.
Back here in Tampa, one period complete. Bruins and the Lightning are scoreless. Let's take a look at the other action from around the NHL. Already a couple of games that are finals. In overtime, the Ottawa Senators defeat the New York Rangers 4-3. Brady Tkachuk had a couple of goals in that game for Ottawa, including the game winner, gives him 26 goals on the season. The other early start today, the Seattle Kraken on the road with a 4-1 victory over the Philadelphia Flyers. Matty Beniers with a goal and an assist in that one for Seattle. All of the other games are later around the league today, including the Buffalo Sabres in Florida to take on the Panthers. That's a 6 o'clock start. 7 p.m. start, Brandon Carlo versus Charlie Coyle. The Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Colorado Avalanche. 7 o'clock face-off out in Denver. In Calgary, the Flames will host Montreal. That one gets going at 7 o'clock Eastern time. The Chicago Blackhawks will visit Nashville for an 8 o'clock start. Also starting at 8 p.m., the LA Kings and the St. Louis Blues out west. The Dallas Stars and Mikko Rantanen is expected to play in that game tonight as they visit Edmonton to take on the Oilers for a 10 p.m. Eastern face-off. And also at 10 o'clock tonight, the San Jose Sharks will host the New York Islanders. One period complete here in Tampa. It's the Bruins and Lightning scoreless through the first 20 minutes. We'll be back with the second period coming up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Markdown Days.
At Route 6 Automall Kia in Swansea.
They're marking down prices on everything.
And every vehicle is just $1 down. So put your tax refund in the bank.
Coach, what's the game plan?
It's going to take championship caliber offers.
0% financing?
You betcha. Get 0% and a lifetime warranty, no charge.
New Kia Tellurides, Sportages, Sorrentos, and more at markdown prices.
Hey, what if I don't make the cut?
Don't sweat it. All you need is a job and a dime. Every vehicle, $1 down.
Oh, and the confetti is falling.
Get 0% and a lifetime warranty, no charge.
You could save thousands.
Get to Markdown Days
at Route 6 Automall Kia
in Swansea.
Route6automall.com.
Route6automall.com.
For details, call 888-420-3306.
Geico's motorcycle expertise means I'm covered by people who know bikes like I do. I'm happy as a clam.
Disclaimer, no conclusive scientific research has shown clams can experience happiness.
I just meant that I feel really good about my coverage.
I mean, even if you took the clam out for the best day ever, visiting the zoo, taking a scenic ride, knowing you're insured by specialists, and sharing a strawberry ice cream cone together, the clam would not feel happy, and your strawberry cone would taste sort of clammy.
Ew.
Geico's motorcycle specialists who know bikes like you do assume no liability for clammy ice cream cones. Geico. Expertise for your motorcycle.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
At Enterprise, we know you're constantly on the move. Getting this.
Thanks, Mom.
Fixing that. You reach a destination. And then it's on to the next. And when life is moving at the speed of, well, life, Enterprise is right there with you, around the corner and around the globe. We'll keep you moving forward. Enterprise, for lives in drive.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Bruins and Lightning scoreless after one period. We are joined by Jacob Loo downstairs in his first game back with the Bruins. Jacob, first of all, welcome back to Boston. What was the feeling when you got the call yesterday?
Thank you. Well, you know, like, it's a surprise, a shock. I had no idea. So, yeah, very shocking, but it's a part of the business. And at the end of the day, I ended up back in Boston, so I'm happy with that.
Are you happy to be, I mean, you mentioned being happy to be back in Boston. Is there, you know, I know there's been a lot of changes in the locker room since you left, obviously, but what's the comfort level coming back into a Bruins uniform?
Obviously, like, it was a lot of personal changes on the team, but, you know, like, there's most of the guys around just, you know, trainers, coaches and stuff, people I know, and a bunch of the guys that I played with, so it's nice. It's definitely a better feeling than going to somewhere completely new. So a lot of familiar faces.
You didn't get here in time to practice yesterday. So, you know, what's it like getting ready for a game where you're, you know, still meeting some of your teammates maybe on the bus ride on the way over here?
Yeah, I mean, like hockey is the same everywhere. It's just, you know, when you're on the ice with someone, you'll get to know him real quick. So probably the only thing that's been harder. It's like completely different system than what we played in Minnesota in many ways. So sometimes even now I got a little lost there a few times this period, but it will come back and it'll be better.
We appreciate the time. Best of luck having you back in Boston. It's great.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks to Jacob Loo for joining us. He's brought to you by TD Bank. TD Bank cardholders score special benefits at TD Garden, from pro shop discounts and free tours to free popcorn and more. Learn more at the TD Garden website. TD Bank, bank of the Boston Celtics and Bruins. No score as we start the second period.
Got a chance to see Jacob when he came on the bus today. All smiles, big handshake, and he's happy to be back. You know, it's a lot for a younger guy, right? He was originally drafted by the Bruins. I think it was third round. You know, was a serviceable player for the Bruins, hard worker, energy guy, fourth line guy, and you know he gets traded to Minnesota, a little different, and all of a sudden he's back here. He was a popular teammate, so good to see him back and hoping for success from him. You know, there's certain guys you root for, right? And you know, he's one of them. He's a confident kid. He's always got a smile on his face. Enjoys coming to work.
38 games with the Wild this year, battling some injuries along the way. Had 6 points, 3 goals and 3 assists. As the puck gets driven deep here by Eric Chernak, around the Bruins zone it comes. So the shots were 6-5 Tampa in the first period. Bruins had all 5 of their shots in the first 5:50 of that first period. Pastrnak throws one on goal here from the right circle, forcing Vasilevsky to make the save, and he covers it up.
Yeah, it dried up pretty quickly for the Bruins. You mentioned their energy level was good at the start of the game, and then, you know, it's no disrespect, but I'm watching Tampa play today, and they just don't seem that interested.
Yeah. What you said, I mean, these guys are...
But this is what I think the Bruins are going to see.
Right. You're not exactly going to get everybody's best.
You're not. You know, that could change. That could change, and... You know, we're just used to kind of being on the other side of things a little bit, and we've been spoiled. I mean, it's been that good a product here for a long time. We'll see if Tampa turns it up a little bit here in this game and see what the temperature looks like after that. But
Jokiharju from his own zone going to carry it ahead here for the Bruins and dump it in from the red line. Jokiharju coming over from Buffalo. The Bruins flipped the draft pick they got and the Trent Frederick deal from Edmonton to Buffalo in exchange for Jokiharju yesterday, and that one kind of flew under the radar, I'm sure, for a lot of fans.
Right shot, though. You know, it takes the place of Brandon Carlo on that right side. You had to bring him in there. You wouldn't have had enough defensemen.
Well, that's it. At one point yesterday, you're kind of looking around at the deals that are being made, saying, like, who's going to be on the ice tomorrow?
You started the road trip with 7D.
Right.
And all of a sudden you had 5.
Face-off win here by Casey Middlestat. Dumped in. Puck comes around the near corner of the Tampa zone and in behind the net. Forced out in front as it banked off of Koepke, but Vasilevsky covers that. So it'll be a face-off inside the Tampa zone. In the Bruins dressing 4 of the players they acquired yesterday. Lauko, who we talked about, Middlestat, who you just heard there, Jokiharju, and Marat Husnudinov. Everybody will be practicing that around media here for the next few weeks.
Just rolls off the tongue. Husnudinov. I heard you say it this morning. That's how I knew how to say it.
There's Ontario on the far side. He did
Kuzi.
Kuzi is yeah, that's
K. I talked to Joe Sacco this morning. I said, yeah, right now it's just K because I haven't learned his name yet.
Wotherspoon with a drive, glove. Yeah, it's funny, you know, talking to Joe Sacco yesterday after practice and again today, he's like, what do you know about this kid? And he's not a whole lot. He said, I got him on the ice for about 20 minutes yesterday to, you know, see what he can do. But, you know, we'll learn as we go here. Husnudinov in his first full season in North America. He's Russian, played over in the KHL, came over to Minnesota toward the end of last season, played a total of 73 games with the Wild in the NHL. We were in Minnesota last week. He had been sent to the minors, and Bill Guerin made it clear he didn't want to do it. It was, you know, a cap-related reason, They needed to clear some space, and he said, quite frankly, it sucks because he thought the kid had earned his spot. As up the right side, here comes Middlestat, moving toward the high slot and into the far circle. Takes a shot. Save made by Vasilevsky. Pokes the rebound toward the far corner.
I think initially he wanted to make a pass to Letary there as he cut from right to left, looking back door, but lost the handle on the puck just enough to throw it off.
Middlestat has it back. Moves it over to Lohrei, cutting down the left wing side. A centering pass bounced off of Letary and up into the air. Settled by Kucherov and out into the neutral ice. Braden Point will dump it into the Boston zone and head off on a chain. Lohrei pivots away from the forecheck of Kucherov. Feels it near side. Ian Mitchell will carry up.
Kucherov coming off a game where he got sat down on the bench there for a few shifts. John Cooper's done that a few times with him. He gets in his moods sometimes. I mean, he's an elite player. We know that, but hasn't looked all that interesting here to start this game.
Beecher gets a pass here from Lauko and forces it into the attack zone against Perbix. The Bruins are changing here. McDonough skates away from Patrick Brown. Sends it around the far side. It's Chafee just outside his own blue line. Played it toward the Boston zone. Jokiharju denied the first entry and then a hand pass against the Lightning. .37 to go here in the second. Scoreless game.
Coming out of the box here after serving his 5-minute major. Kaslik still has a little time left on his. Gives the extra 2.
Geeky, Zaka, and Pasternak across the front here for the Bruins with Wotherspoon and Mitchell. And Mitchell's 4th NHL game this season. Puck wrapped around the far side. Brought back in deeper by Pasternak, but now Lightning will clear it out with Hagel coming through the neutral ice. Paul ridden to the boards by Wotherspoon. Here's Pasternak back through neutral ice, trying to get through Chernak. Chernak just able to win that battle, push the puck in behind the net. Ozer around the far side. Wotherspoon tried to keep it, couldn't. But Zaka back checking, able to win it back coming through neutral ice. Mitchell from the near face-off circle with a pass ahead for Zaka. Spun off it by Perbix. I'm going to go off for a line change anyway. So Lightning make their way back into neutral ice. Gonsalves up the left wing side from the circle. Pivots back toward the wall to get away from Peak. Deals it back off for Perbix. Usnadinov challenging him on the shot. Forced it into the far corner. Lohrei around the near side for Peak. And up the right side it comes to Lauko. Lauko in a foot race along the near boards with Perbix. Wheels one toward the slot, just out of Usnadinov's reach. Thrown back up into the air, and it comes out into neutral ice. Yanni Gourde will dump it in. Swayman took a stab at it behind the net, couldn't stop it. Reversed from Lohrei to Peak. Moved it toward the near side, but Lindholm had to take it away. Gourde will send it around the far side. Radish at the right point. On to McDonough near side. Back to Radish, center of the blue line. Pass over to the right side, and trying to get a one-timer off was Gensel. Didn't get much on it. McDonough will get it back to Gensel in the near corner. Sends it around the far side. Radish into the middle for McDonough. Gave it up, got it right back, coming down the middle. It's Point, and the save made by Swayman hangs on.
Yeah, neither goaltenders had a ton of action, but that's a good save made by Swayman. He's nice and squared up. His Point, always dangerous, right in the slot area. Gets this shot away on Swayman. Bruins done a pretty good job defensively here in this game. I don't think Tampa Bay has turned it up as much as they'd like to, but all it takes is a goal or something to happen. Maybe it's a hit. I mean, the score was settled in the first on that fight with Kastelik and Lulberg, but that didn't seem to get things going. Excitement level going.
Right. Kastelik has finished serving his 7 minutes, so he's back out on the ice and won this faceoff. Get the puck deep into Tampa Bay's territory. Brown trying to backhand it out toward the blue line. Got cut off. Now Beecher and Kastelik in deep. Kastelik rattled it around the far side. Zadorov over to Jokiharju, and a shot tipped coming through the slot goes up and out of play.
Yeah, Bruins had some good traffic in front. Brown was right in front. That wrist shot from the point. Jokiharju's shown some. he's been noticeable in a good way so far in this game. Sometimes you don't want to notice a defenseman, right? You just mistake-free, but he's been noticeable so far in this game. It's a good wrist shot with bodies in front. He's been active. You know, can he get back? Can he make the good first pass? Can he handle a forecheck? Those are things that we'll continue to watch. He's coming from an organization that, you know, unfortunately for the Sabres, it's just been, 13 or 14 years since they've made the playoffs. So he's never seen playoffs. He won't see it again, most likely, this year. And I know that Joe Sacco said that, look, our goal is to make the playoffs, and, you know, we're still within striking distance. So when you look at it realistically, based on everything that happened yesterday, I think you kind of see how the Bruins are feeling.
There's a puck floated up ice for Pasternak, and his shot just up and over Vasilevsky. Jokiharju started his career, his rookie season in Chicago, and then the last 6 years with Buffalo, closing in on 400 games in his NHL career. 93 points from the back end, including 19 career goals. Wears number 44 for the Bruins. Gets it deep here into Tampa territory. McDonough with an outlet pass towards center ice. Hagel took a hit from Wotherspoon, got the puck into the Bruin zone, but sent right back out of there by Mitchell. Middlestat trying to stick handle in across the Tampa Bay line. Radish able to knock the puck free. Wotherspoon gets it right back to Lettieri, and right back across the blue line they come. Dropped one back here to Mitchell, moving toward the right circle, fired one across, blocked by Hagel. Lettieri's got it again, deals to Mitchell, top of the right circle, a drive, and the save by Vasilevsky. 7 minutes into this second period, still scoreless. Mitchell plays it down toward the end boards. Lettieri with Middlestat behind the net. Off to the far circle. And now it's Mitchell again with a shot. Stick to side. In the near corner, Middlestat will move it along the wall. Koepke gives it back to him, and over to Mitchell for a one-timer that skimmed us wide.
Oh, he had a moving screen in front as well. Vasilevsky's eyes were taken away down low.
Coming back through neutral ice on the stick of Hagel. A long shot is gloved by Swayman. He hangs on to it. We've got 7.5 minutes gone in the second period. Bruins and Lightning are scoreless here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You can shop during this ad by saying, Alexa, add to cart. You are bountiful. Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails fruit pectin gummies with collagen and biotin, plus antioxidant CNE, help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
The Lumineers. The Automatic World Tour. Due to popular demand, second show added July 17th at Fenway Park. With special guests, Young the Giant and Hippocampus. Tickets on sale now at redsox.com/The Lumineers. The Lumineers. Pick up their new album, Automatic, out now.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
And the Boston Bruins are bringing you the best snow day ever. Tune in this Tuesday, March 11th, as the Bruins and Panthers on-ice action gets transformed into animation using NHL Edge data. Watch the same action happening on the ice, but in a whole new way for a one-of-a-kind game day viewing experience. Learn more at bostonbruins.com/best snow day ever. Bruins Tampa Bay Lightning scoreless. 12.5 minutes to go here in the second period. Shots are now 10-8 in favor of Boston. We're going to face off in the defensive zone here. Mark Kastelik to take that. And the near face-off circle down to our left. Wins the draw, peak, lobs it high into the air out into neutral ice. Glove down by Perbix, and then he's able to hold it away from Patrick Brown, drop it back into the Boston zone. Denning will bring it back toward the Boston end. Hit by Peak. Knocked down Gergensons. Puck around to the far circle. Brown kicks it onto his stick and heels it back around the near side, but too far for Lohrei. Thrown back toward the net by Lilleberg. And Lohrei will take it from the far circle and lay it out into neutral ice. Deflected puck comes bouncing back toward the Tampa Bay blue line. Brought right back into the Boston zone along the near side. This is Chafee. Pushed it in behind the net. Lohrei there. Beecher chips it off the far glass and out against Cirelli. Dumped right back in by Perbix. It'll go around the far side, and Lohrei will kick it back around toward Peak. Off the near boards, Castaway couldn't redirect it out of the zone against Mosier. And now the Lightning trying to take advantage. Cirelli wheels it back to the point. A drive by Radish, and it deflects up and out of play.
It's Wellpoint is proud to honor our hometown heroes all season long. This week, they're honoring Lieutenant Sandy Picard from the Lawrence Police Department and her therapy dog, Ollie. Brings smiles to those who need it most. To nominate someone making a difference in your community, visit 985thesportshub.com/heroes today.
Bruins will have a defensive zone face-off here. Lindholm with Husnudinov and Lauko. Jokiharju pairing up with Zadorov on the defense. Bruins push it out of the zone, dumped right back in, and Swayman stops it at the back of the net. Puck chipped out toward the blue line. Radish to keep alive. Trying to get away from Lindholm, who forced a turnover. Jokiharju going to bring it through neutral ice. Pass up the right side here for Lauko. Slams on the break, so on the near side hash marks. It deflected in front as he tried to deal it across, but kept away from Husnudinov. Pushed back toward the Boston line. Zadorov there to get a stick on it. Now it's Point just inside the Boston zone. Plays it through the slot. Jokiharju looking over his shoulder as Gensel bears down on him. He wraps it back toward the near corner. And both teams going for changes. So Zadorov stops in behind the Boston net. Jokiharju fires one into the neutral ice. Geekie trying to redirect it deep. Instead sent back toward the Boston zone. And it's Cirelli. Pasternak back checking, broke up a pass back toward the blue line. Now Hagel from the left circle, fired one across into the far corner, ricocheted right to Cirelli, came back across looking for Hagel but couldn't slow it down. Pasternak up the right wing side. Tried to carry it into the zone. McDonough held his ground.
McDonough just took that 3-on-2 right away, right there by his spacing there in the neutral zone. He didn't give Pasternak any room, any time and space to make a play. 3-on-2 never developed.
Ryan McDonough, veteran defenseman, playing in his 991st career game today. There's a drive that goes wide of Swayman off the near boards. Lilleberg will push it back around. Got through Kucherov, and that'll trickle back down toward the Tampa end.
When he got traded, McDonough from New York Rangers to here, it was a bit of a shock, and it took him a little while to kind of get going. But
here's Koepke moving in on Vasilevsky, made the save, the rebound, they score! Vinny Lettieri was sweeping around in front of that, and the Bruins grab a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, breakdown big time here by the Tampa Bay Lightning inside their own zone, and it's going to be Mittelstadt that finds Koepke. Mittelstadt on the left wing side wins a battle, dishes his puck to Koepke, who's in on Vasilevsky, tries to go 5-hole. It's stopped by Vasilevsky, but the puck kind of sits there behind him, and Lettieri very alert, attacking and able to knock this puck home. You had Bjorkstrand that was there that couldn't locate the puck, and Lettieri's able to push it home into the empty net. So Mittelstadt makes the play. Perbix tries to make a pass up the ice. Mittelstadt deflects the puck, intercepts it, wins a battle along the boards, and everybody had blown the zone for Tampa. So Perbix the only guy back. Everybody's scrambling to get back. Koepke had the initial chance, and Lettieri alertly following up.
That'll be the third of the year at the NHL level for Vinny Lettieri. And the Bruins with a 1-goal lead, 9:20 to go here in the second.
Let's see if this kind of gets things going a little bit. And
wakes Tampa up?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say before. You know, all it takes is one goal or something to happen, right?
Puck tangled up in the Boston zone. Gonzalez will send it over far side. Shot in wide of Swayman off the outside of the net. Bjorkstrand kept it moving. Now Lilleberg at the left point. Shot blockered out of play off of Swayman. They'll step aside here with 8:51 to go in the second. It's the Bruins on top, 1-0 on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Blink and get more. More what, you ask? More value with smart home security at an even smarter price. More simplicity with easy install. More convenience with up to 2 years of battery life. And more connection so you can check in from anywhere. Hi, Boomer. Who's a good boy? The best part? With Blink Smart Home Security, you'll get all this without spending more. So blink and get more. To learn more, visit Amazon.com/blink.
It's time to start a healthy relationship with your money. With Navigant Credit Union, there are no hidden fees, great interest rates, and support that puts you first. Make the switch today. Navigant Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went...
I'm so excited.
Yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Vinny Lettieri's goal, assisted by Cole Koepke and Casey Middlestat, is our delivery of the game, delivered by Granite City Electric's GCE Night Train. Electrical contractors, get on board the GCE Night Train. Order your materials to be delivered overnight to the job site the following morning and save time and money. Just go to gcenighttrain.com to order. That is the only goal of the game so far. 8:51 remaining here in the second period as the Bruins have the lead on the road, to the delight of a large contingent of Bruins fans here at Amalie Arena in Tampa. Faceoff will be in the defensive zone here for Mark Kastelik as he matches up against Luke Glendening. Off the draw, Linesman got wiped out. Lifted out of the Bruins zone by Yoki Harju. Back at his own blue line, Mosier will push it up ice. Here's Glendening down the right circle, and as he tried to get it toward the net, it's blocked out of play off the stick of Nikita Zadorov.
And it's hockey season is the perfect time to replace your old boiler with a new Peerless boiler. Don't wait until you have no heat. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
Vinny Lettieri, 20 goal scorer in Providence in 46 games this year at 48 points.
He's a real good, real solid American Hockey League player. You know, is he an everyday NHLer? You know, it's borderline, right?
Right. He bounced around organizations and as a role player, he's been Ranger, a Duck.
You know, can you be a good scorer in the NHL? And you know, pretty good sample size. Probably not, but can he be a role player? Can he provide speed? Can he do some other things for you and chip in the odd goal here and there? And you know, that's what you would hope from him.
He got traded to the Bruins for Jacob Loo from Minnesota as that shot by Brown goes wide of the net. It's funny, when Casey Middlestat met the Bruins media for the first time before today's game, he was excited to be playing with some guys that he knows from Minnesota back home. He said Vinny Lettieri is one of his best friends from back home. Cole Koepke as well. And those three on a line together. As the puck comes wrapping in deep the Boston zone, it'll go in toward the side of the net, and Swayman going to cover it up as it comes in the crease.
If I'm not mistaken, Lettieri is related to Lou Nanny, who's like Mr. Hockey everything up in Minnesota. I believe it's his son-in-law.
Okay.
fact, when Lettieri scored a goal for the Wild, Lou Nanne was doing color on TV. He was filling in. He got to call a goal for his son-in-law.
So shot wide by Lilleberg along the far side. Looks like they have changed the scoring on that. We're going to give it to Koepke now.
Yeah. Terry's the one that went first through the line, so see if they change it again.
Puck brought around the side of the net here. And
players know.
In front. Lorai through the neutral ice, off to the left side.
That could be one that, when you look at the box score tomorrow, it gets changed.
Right. Well, who was it? It was the game in Minnesota last week, right, where the players didn't know. It had deflected in off.
Oh, yeah, but it barely touched his pants, if anything. Yeah, it was in front of the net. It was Goudreau. It was the only goal of the game.
Yeah, Freddie Goudreau, he didn't realize it had hit him. Sure, he's happy to take the goal. As the puck moved in by Hagel, shot right into the glove of Swayman. A flashy save. He hangs on.
Might be his toughest save right there. He hasn't had much, right? Yeah. It's only 12 shots for Tampa. Maybe that's just 13th, but that's a good glove save. So a shot from Hagel. He's moving from right to left, and he just changes the angle a little bit, trying to use Mitchell as a screen, or excuse me, Yoki Haru as a screen. No, it was Mitchell. And then shoot that puck back against the grain to the glove side.
6:33 left here in the second. Bruins up by 1. Face-off will be to Swayman's right. Kastelik against Cirelli on the draw. Cirelli wins it back to Lilleberg at the point. Gave it to Radish. Gave it up and trying to get it back to him was Kucherov. Puck pinballing around. Brown's lost his stick. It's broken. Can't pick it up. Hagel to Kucherov. Back up top for Radish. Hagel over again to Kucherov at that far circle as he tried to fire it. Blocked by Yoki Haru.
Yeah, he tried to pass. That was a shot pass by Kucherov attempt.
He hits the broken stick, comes free, and centering pass by Hagel, picked off by Kastelik, who will clear it off the far boards. Brown heads to the bench, gets a new stick as he gets there. The puck angles back into Boston territory, but that's going to be an icing.
Fans of Idiot Bank is teaming up with Boston legend Patrice Bergeron again this season for Assist for Kids to donate $37,000 to help Metro West families pay for youth hockey. Get details now at avidiabank.com/Team Bergeron.
So an attack zone face-off for Pavel Zacha with 5:53 to go here in the second. Far circle down to our right. He leans in against Cirelli. Off the face-off, Geekie scoots in there and takes the puck, brings it into the far left wing corner, batted back down low. It'll come around behind the net and into the near corner. Zacha able to put a hip on Hagel, wrapped around the far side, and Wotherspoon couldn't get over there in time to keep it in. He'll chase it all the way back into Boston territory. Bruins moving left to right here in this second period. Wotherspoon gets it deep into the far corner. McDonough there first. To the near side. Lilleberg with a long pass out into neutral ice, and back across the ice it comes to Paul, cutting through the middle. He goes off to the right wing side, and a shot. Swayman holds his ground along the far post and hangs on to that puck. Will step aside. Stoppage with 5:14 to go in the second. It's the Bruins 1 and the Lightning 0 on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went,
I'm so excited.
yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Dennis Quaid here. There's a pressing issue that still needs attention: the state of our retirement savings. We're dealing with $36 trillion in debt, and the interest on that debt is now greater than our entire defense budget for the first time in history. And with global tension still high, it's more important than ever to help secure your financial future. That's why I partnered with a great company, Goldco, who is offering you a free copy of their Gold and Silver Kit. The kit contains vital information to help you navigate the current economic landscape and offers strategies to help you protect your life savings. Get a free Gold and Silver Kit to get the facts and make a decision that's right for you and your family by calling 855-GOLD-IRA. You may even qualify for free bonus silver plus a free Ronald Reagan silver coin. Call 855-GOLD-IRA. That's 855-GOLD-IRA.
Felger and Maz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub.
Bruins up 1-0, 5:14 to go in the second period here in Tampa. Beersy was just brought up something we have not had a chance to mention yet today off the air, but Matt Poitras not in the lineup today. He was among a number of players who were transacted down to Providence yesterday because at the same time the trade deadline comes in the NHL, players have to be on their AHL rosters if they're going to be able to play in the playoffs. And so Poitras went down, Tufte went down. Neither one has officially been brought back onto the NHL roster as of yet, but I believe both are still here in Tampa with the team.
Why take a commercial flight when you can take a charter flight?
So, but if you look at the AHL transactions page for the, there's a lengthy list of players that were sent down by organizations, including the Bruins yesterday. Patrick Brown among them. He's on the ice today for Boston. The shot blocked as Middlestat tried to get one to the net, but Gord was in the way. It'll come to Peak along the near side, thrown back toward the net, angles wide, and Middlestat ridden to the boards by Gord. Puck kept alive, out of the blue line. Lohrei walks it all the way toward the near side. And to get away from Gensel, plays it back toward the high slot. Lettieri, a turnaround shot went wide. And Radish knocked the rebound away from Koepke. Gensel brings it back toward the red line. Pass off to the right side for Point with speed. Pivots away from Jokiharju. Got bumped by Lettieri. McDonough off a cross ice pass. Top of the circle, Gonzalez. And then McDonough has it taken away by Lettieri, and he will lift it out through the neutral ice. Under 4 minutes to go here in the second.
Tampa, we mentioned 11-1-1 in their last 13 games, and John Cooper's got to be going, what am I watching right now?
Salvis on the right side, tried to get it back to the point, bounced away, and Lauko whipped one across ice for Elias Lindholm. And behind the net, left there for Perbix. In the near corner, McDonough trying to push it up ice, does. Paul tapped it onto a cutting Gonzalez across the Boston line, moving toward the high slot, gives it back left side for Paul, and a blocker save on his shot from the left circle. Swayman knocks that out of play.
You go back to your little story there about Poitras and Tufte to make sure that they're on the AHL roster. That happened to me. I'd spent half the season in Providence, and then I was up in Boston, and they never put me on the roster for the American Hockey. We weren't going to make the playoffs in Boston. And they didn't put me on the roster for the AHL. The coach down there was upset. So I wasn't eligible to go down and play in the playoffs for Providence. I ended up going and playing in the World Championships.
That's not a bad, as the puck goes out of play. You'd rather be playing, I would think, in the playoffs, but that's not a bad consolation prize.
Yeah, I got a nice trip to Finland, but guys that you played half the season with in Providence, you were close to, I would have much rather done that and had a good run. We were a good team. Not a good team in Boston. We had a good team in Providence.
Yeah, so those transactions yesterday, Poitras, Tufte, Mitchell, Brown, Usnadinov, Lettieri, the new acquisitions, Fraser Minton, Daniil Misyul, who came over from New Jersey, And a trade for Mark McLaughlin, the Billerica native. Traded yesterday as well. Tyler Pitlick, who was picked up this week as well. So all of them.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see him up here at some point in the near future.
Right. Well, they cleared him through waivers earlier this week to make it possible to bring him back up.
Right. Well, to bring him up in the first place. He hasn't played any games here. But, yeah, that's coming here soon. I mean, we go home after today's game and get a home game Tuesday, away Thursday.
Yep, in Ottawa on Thursday.
And then back home
and then
Saturday.
home against the Lightning on Saturday. Yep.
And that long, lengthy road trip coming up out to California and Vegas and ending up in Detroit.
Puck went out of play, so we get a face-off coming up at center ice here with 3:04 to go in the period. Bruins up 1-0 in Tampa. Off the draw, Lori trying to play it in deep, but had it blocked instead by Chernak. Got tangled up in front of the benches. Comes across the ice. McDonough will shoot it out of his own zone, but picked off by Zacha. Works it right back in. Trying to get it to Pasternak. Disrupted from behind by Cirelli.
Yeah, good defensive player. Cirelli is reliable. Makes a nice play there.
Loose puck along the far circle, and they try to get it back to Peak, but out of his reach of the blue line. And he'll chase it all the way back into his own zone. Send it back into the neutral ice, but the Lightning will control it. 2:25 to go here in the period. McDonough's pass. Finds Cirelli on the right side. Into the middle for Kucherov. His shot. Smothered by Lori. Puck brought ahead by Geekie.
4-on-2.
Geekie, left side of Pasternak. Pulls up just inside the blue line. Sends one across. Zacha had to settle it along the near circle. Back over to Pasternak for a one-timer. Finds the back glass. Zacha to Lori. Moving through the high slot to the left circle. His shot tipped and just wide of the far post.
We talk about a breakdown from Tampa that time. Lori couldn't believe when he turned around. He had so much time. There was nobody near him.
Mitchell will give to Middlestat coming through the neutral ice. Middlestat chips it down into the left wing corner and chases against Moser. Came around near side. Lilleberg tapped it free. Lightning will clear it. Bouncing, rolling puck will make it just far enough for a Tampa icing with 94 seconds to go here in the second period.
Well, Middlestat has made his presence known. We talked about the guys that, newcomers into the lineup. Lettieri gets a goal taken away from him, but Jokiharju's played well on the backside, and Middlestat, he makes that play that develops into the goal, the only goal of the game here, that they've now given credit for Koepke.
Yeah, so it's Koepke for Middlestat at 10:32 of the second. Is the official scoring at the moment.
He's made a couple good offensive plays, which is he's got the ability to do that. And now can you provide other areas, where you're strong in as well, and we'll continue to watch that and see that. I mean, he got paid he got paid well by Colorado, and when they made the trade for him.
Middlestat along the right wing side. Pivots away from pressure.
Second half of the season, it just hasn't worked out for him in Colorado.
Jokiharju's shot blocked by Gensel. On the end boards, it's Koepke bringing toward the near side. They have 59 and 57 points the last two seasons in the league for Middlestat. As the drive by Jokiharju gets blocked and goes up and out of play. He was 34 points in 63 games coming in with Colorado, and now has a point in his Bruins debut with that assist. An attack zone face-off here off of that puck out of play. Lindholm, Lauko, and Husnedinov. The forward unit for Joe Sacco. Face-off pulled back into the corner by Glendening. It'll come out of the zone to Bjorkstrand, and he chips and chases down the left wing side. Wotherspoon holds him off it behind the net. Tried to get it to Husnedinov, bounced away. Husnedinov, though, blocks a shot, and McDonough will play it back in behind the Bruins net. 33 seconds to go in the period. Puck still tangled back there. Ian Mitchell had it knocked off of his stick, came back to the far point. Chernak gave it a long far circle, moving toward the slot, and Bjorkstrand hit the post.
He could shoot it, and he had a good screen in front. Swayman never saw that.
Mitchell trying to keep it away from the crease. It gets through, but Swayman able to cover it up with 13 and a half to go in the period.
Yeah, Sweeney never saw that. Bjorkstrand he can fire the puck. They win a battle in the on the right side there. Bjorkstrand coming across. He picks his shot, and he goes glove side on Swayman, off the post and out. Swayman never moved.
Bjorkstrand acquired from Seattle along with Yanni Gourde, who had been here in Tampa and then won a couple of cups and then got taken in the expansion draft by the Kraken. And so he comes back over as part of that deal earlier this week. Lightning gave up a first, a second, part of that trade. Bruins get the puck deep in the attack zone here, but nothing will come of that. And Boston's going to take a 1-0 lead into the locker room after 2 periods here in Tampa this afternoon. Cole Koepke's goal is the only one so far. Back to recap the first 40 minutes next on the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network. Driven by the versatile Honda CR-V. It's your local Honda dealer.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
At Enterprise, we know you're constantly on the move. Getting this.
Thanks, Mom.
Fixing that. You reach a destination. And then it's on to the next. And when life is moving at the speed of, life, Enterprise is right there with you. Around the corner and around the globe. We'll keep you moving forward. Enterprise. For lives in drive.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Artificial intelligence, AI, it's all you hear about. But how far away is it? And what are the potential threats from AI that could totally upend the way Americans live their lives? What will it do to the job market? What will the unemployment rate be? What does it mean for data privacy or cybersecurity? How about the banking system or national security? The ECB has already warned about a bubble in AI stocks. Could this spread to other sectors? If you have $50,000 or more saved for retirement, this may not be the time to wait and find out. Learn how you could help protect your life savings using precious metals like gold and silver. Right now, you can get a free gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco. On top of that, you could get up to a 10% instant match in bonus silver, but only while supplies last. Call 855-GOLD-IRA now. That's 855-GOLD-IRA. One more time, 855-GOLD-IRA.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
Here's Koepke moving in on Vasilevsky, made the save, the rebound, they score! Vinny Lettieri was sweeping around in front of that, and the Bruins grab a 1-0 lead. Yeah, they originally credited that goal to Vinny Lettieri. They changed it then to Cole Koepke. We'll take another look at the replay and see how that happened, but it's Cole Koepke's goal. But either way, the Bruins have a 1-0 lead after 2 periods. Back alongside Bob Beers, I'm Ryan Johnston here in Tampa. You've mentioned it a couple of times today. You're not exactly seeing the best of what the Tampa Bay Lightning have to offer through the first 40 minutes here. But give the Bruins credit here.
Full credit to the Bruins for doing what they have to, but you don't go 11-1-1 in your last 13 games playing like that.
No.
Okay, so yes, I do want to give the Bruins some credit, and they deserve it. But Tampa has given you an underwhelming performance to this point in this game. So see if that changes in the third. I thought maybe the goal against them might, kind of wake them up a little bit. But, you're not seeing, how many grade A chances has Tampa had? They hit the post. That was Bjorkstrand who hit the post late in the second period. Hagel had a chance to the glove side. There hasn't been many others that, maybe one that hits Raymond in the 8-spoke B there, but there haven't been many great chances for Tampa. And we'll see if the third period changes things a little bit. The Bruins, they give Mittelstadt full marks because the only goal of the game, he intercepts a pass by Perbix, or at least knocks it down, and then chases it down over on the left wing side. And Tampa had 4 guys up ice. Perbix was the only guy back. They had 4 guys up ice, and then Perbix tries to get to the puck first, can't. Mittelstadt ends up centering it for Koepke, who eventually gets credited for the goal. He came in on Vasilevsky, and the puck trickled through Vasilevsky, and it looked like Lettieri was going to get the goal. In fact, they celebrated like Lettieri got the goal, but the official scores here in Tampa have now given it to Koepke. They said it went over the goal line before Lettieri touched it. So either way, but give Mittelstadt a lot of credit for that play. But no question, some of the top guns here for Tampa aren't really overly interested here this afternoon. I mean, a guy like Kucherov got benched a little bit last game.
Yeah.
And they were saying that, it's not the first time. John Cooper can be, it will be hard on him when necessary. It was 2 games before he played against the Florida Panthers. He played 27 minutes. So he was down to 16 last game in their win, and it was a close game against the Buffalo Sabres. It was 6-5.
Well, from the Bruins' perspective, we talked about it in the pregame show. You really didn't know what you're going to get today. Obviously the upheaval in the organization for the guys that have already been here. You've got 4 new faces that enter the lineup today for their Bruins debuts. You figure those guys are, obviously are going to make a good first impression or do their best to make a good first impression today.
Yeah.
But you've got guys who, Jacob Loo said it when we talked to him after the first period. He's, it's a big adjustment how I've been playing in Minnesota versus here. He said I got lost a couple of times in the first period because it's just a different system, and so there's some adjustments that need to be made there.
And that goes the same for the other newcomers. It's not a lot of time to get acclimated. There's no practice time, relatively speaking, and it is a different system. A lot of teams play a man-on-man. There are other teams that play kind of a hybrid. The Bruins have their own kind of way of playing it. There's a few teams around the league that play the same way. Defensive zone we're talking about. You can talk about forecheck, you can talk about neutral zone. There's always going to be differences, and especially in the defensive zone, getting used to not chasing around, playing your position. If a guy goes up high, if you're a defenseman, you don't chase him up high, you hand him off to the winger. The centerman is really active in the D zone defensively, in terms of coverage. So there's a lot. When I say centerman, it's the first forward back is mainly what I mean. It could be a winger, it could be the center. Usually it's the center, but there are different ways to play it, and the Bruins have their own system, and it's worked for them over the years. It has not worked for them this year, and even the second part of last year, they started to see a lot of holes and a lot of those grade A chances that they really were better at keeping things to the outside and allowing your goaltenders to see those shots. When things start to break down, I actually talked to Swayman a little bit about this the other day. When things start to break down in front of you, the goaltender loses trust a little bit about what's going on behind him. You feel like you have to compensate a little bit more to make sure that backdoor pass is made. Things like that.
Right.
There's just that trust isn't quite there. And look, the Bruins they have not been good defensively this year. Inside their own zone, especially. The quality chances, especially when Jim Montgomery was the coach here at the beginning of the season, it was bizarre how many chances they were giving up. Whether it was odd man chances, odd man rushes, or those chances from the slot or the high danger areas. It was amazing how many opportunities they were giving up in those spots, and it's just something we haven't seen here for a number of years. Because when they were locked in, when they were dialed in defensively, they didn't give up those opportunities. Maybe a couple a game, and that was it.
Right, and now having to make the adjustments with new bodies in there, and losing one of your top defensemen in Brandon Carlo yesterday as part of the trade deadline as well. Well, the Bruins have a 1-0 lead here on the road over Tampa through 2 periods. We'll come back and check the out-of-town scoreboard. Coming up next on the 98.5 Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer. But now, our music of the game, brought to you by Live Nation. That's the sound of Dermot Kennedy presenting Mishnach, a festival of Irish music and culture at TD Garden March 19th. Get your tickets now at livenation.com. Now we'll be back on the 98.5 the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
My parents told me to put the camera down and get a real job. With the federal government, I can create with confidence.
A creative career is waiting for you when you register with Selective Service. Federal jobs give you access to benefits like healthcare, paid leave, and job security. Create with confidence. Register at sss.gov. That's sss.gov.
Artificial intelligence, AI, it's all you hear about. But how far away is it? And what are the potential threats from AI that could totally upend the way Americans live their lives? What will it do to the job market? What will the unemployment rate be? What does it mean for data privacy or cybersecurity? How about the banking system or national security? The ECB has already warned about a bubble in AI stocks. Could this spread to other sectors? If you have $50,000 or more saved for retirement, this may not be the time to wait and find out. Learn how you could help protect your life savings using precious metals like gold and silver. Right now, you can get a free gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco. On top of that, you could get up to a 10% instant match in bonus silver, but only while supplies last. Call 855-GOLD-IRA now. That's 855-GOLD-IRA. One more time, 855-GOLD-IRA.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5thesportshub.com.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins radio network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZFM at HD Boston, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Easily heard station.
Let's take a look at the other action from around the NHL. Already a couple of games that are finals in overtime. The Ottawa Senators defeat the New York Rangers 4-3. Brady Tkachuk had a couple of goals in that game for Ottawa, including the game winner, gives him 26 goals on the season. The other early start today, the Seattle Kraken on the road with a 4-1 victory over the Philadelphia Flyers. Matty Beniers with a goal and an assist in that one for Seattle. All of the other games are later around the league today, including the Buffalo Sabres in Florida to take on the Panthers. That's a 6 o'clock start. 7 p.m. start, Brandon Carlo versus Charlie Coyle. The Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Colorado Avalanche. 7 o'clock face-off out in Denver. In Calgary, the Flames will host Montreal. That one gets going at 7 o'clock Eastern time. The Chicago Blackhawks will visit Nashville for an 8 o'clock start. Also starting at 8 p.m., the LA Kings and the St. Louis Blues out west. The Dallas Stars and Mikko Rantanen is expected to play in that game tonight as they visit Edmonton to take on the Oilers for a 10 p.m. Eastern face-off. And also at 10 o'clock tonight, the San Jose Sharks will host the New York Islanders. We'll be back next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppable, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Is your relationship with your bank in a rut? Might be time for someone new. At Navigant Credit Union, we offer better rates, fewer fees, and support that puts you first. Don't put it off. Join Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. We've got a huge variety of metals in stock, and we cut to size fast. Bottom line, we get it done fast, so you get it done fast. Doesn't get easier than that. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Find a store or buy online at metalsupermarkets.com.
Geico's motorcycle expertise gives me the coverage I need, like 24/7 claims. I'm on cloud 9.
Disclaimer, clouds are wholly unable to support the weight of an adult human.
What's happening?
Furthermore, clouds are not numbered. Even if you procured a jetpack and searched, you'd find no cloud numbered 9. However, at that altitude, you'd likely befriend a flock of migrating snow geese.
Geese?
Who'd encourage you to leave your 24/7 Geico motorcycle claims insurance behind, as they would take you in and even share their dinner of crickets and clovers with you.
Ew.
Geico assumes no liability for any indigestion that may occur from a clover cricket dinner. Geico, expertise for your motorcycle.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
This is completely unacceptable. High inflation rates are actually preventing people from retiring. This is exactly why thousands are turning to Goldco, the top-rated gold company, to diversify their savings with time-tested safe haven assets, physical gold and silver. Goldco is offering a free gold and silver kit, but on qualified purchases, they'll give you up to a 10% instant match in bonus silver. That's right, a 10% match in bonus silver. Don't wait any longer. Call 855-GOLD-IRA. That's 855-GOLD-IRA.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub. This is a black and gold flashback.
Tampa Bay's won the last 6 games for them that have gone beyond regulation. They're 7-1 in overtime. Bruins are 4-6, had the OT win last night. Bergeron right away, feeds it out in front, score! Brad Marchand tips it in, 10 seconds into overtime to give the Bruins a tie for first place.
And a rather appropriate black and gold flashback today, taking us back to this date in 2016 in this very building. Brad Marchand scoring in overtime, and the Bruins earning a 1-0 win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. That is our amazing play, presented by Timberline Construction, providing truly exceptional service in construction management, pre-construction, design, build, and due diligence support. Learn more at timberlineconstruction.com. Timberline Construction, exceptional, no exceptions. Well, as we start the third period here in Tampa, it's the Bruins with a 1-0 lead. Some further changes to the goal scoring. They apparently have taken the assist away from Casey Middlestat now. It is now an unassisted goal by Cole Koepke at 10:32. Again, that was originally credited to Vinny Lettieri from Koepke and Middlestat.
I'm just so overthinking it. The guy makes a great play. Middlestat does.
Yeah.
Makes a really good play to get his stick on a clearing pass by Perbix. Beats Perbix to the puck. Gets it to Koepke. And now they're not going to give him a helper? Seriously?
I don't know what to tell you. But I really don't.
It's a joke. That's just dumb.
There's Kucherov trying to shoot coming into the Boston zone. It pinballs in towards Swayman, who covers it up.
I know, talking to, our off-ice officials in Boston, they tell me, it gets, they have to be really specific, and the league comes down on them if they're not, by the book.
They don't want guys getting phantom points.
Well, that always happened, right? Before they had the, the off-ice official things, and guys would be going to the referee, showing them their number, or
There's a shot, a chance in front on the backhand by Hagen.
Puck goes in. If you're near the front of the net, you're pointing at your skate. Yeah, it hit my skate. Hit my skate. Stealing points, stealing goals. But I mean, that just come on, guys. First point in the Bruins uniform. It was a good play.
Yeah. Here's Pasternak off a feed from Sacco. Shot got blocked. Pasternak still able to fight his way to the front of the net. Forced Vasilevsky to make the save. Back out into the neutral ice, and Geekie wins it back. Cross ice, it bounces away from Pasternak and from Zadorov. Now Pasta drives one in from center ice and heads off on a change. Zadorov able to win it away from Gord, throws it to the net. Save Vasilevsky, and a chance on the rebound by Lindholm as well. Vasilevsky covers up.
Hasn't had a lot to do today, but he hasn't looked overly sharp, but he hasn't had a lot to do. We're talking about Vasilevsky, but even the goal that was scored got through him. That's a turnover by Tampa, so Tampa has to back off. Chernak blocked the initial chance by Pasternak, but Vasilevsky on the save by Zadorov. Keeping it out, but
shots 13-13 through 2 periods. 8-7 edge for Boston in the second as Lindholm throws one through the slot. It goes into the far corner. Kept in at the blue line by Husnudinov. Shot up and over the net by Lauka. Out at the near point, Zadorov lost it out of the zone, sent it back in on a delayed offside, but the Lightning quickly move it ahead. Gord just inside the Boston blue line, batted out of the air by Paul. Zadorov there at the near circle, plays it over to Jokiharju. Jokiharju pivots away from Yanni Gord, drops it back. Now it'll be Middlestad inside the Bruins zone. Tipping it ahead was Lettieri. Vasilevsky leaves it behind the net for J.J. Mosier. To the neutral ice, and it'll be brought ahead by Braden Point, but lost it coming into the Boston zone.
Well, so I just went back and I watched the goal again. I watched it more closely. I just watched the replay of it. There's
Middlestad, a steal behind the net out in front. Koepke, backhander blocked by Perbix.
Thought he could have given that puck to Lettieri. That's a good centering pass. I'll tell you why in the next stoppage of play.
Perbix along the near side. It'll come in behind the net. And it's Point. Far circle. Back to the near point for Gensel. Now Braden Point, top of the right circle. He pivots back toward the blue line. They're going to swat at him. Lettieri couldn't force him out of the zone. Lilleberg a drive. That's blocked by Lettieri. We tried to kick it out of the zone. He had broken his stick. He couldn't play the puck. Now a shot from the near circle, turned aside by Swayman. A good chance there by Bjorkstrand. Perbix at the blue line. Terry's got a new stick and back they're back defending here. His shot ricochets wide of Swayman. Middlestat shoving at Point. Puck came back around near side and comes back toward Point in that far corner. Set up at the far circle, and a one-time attempt by Gensel misfired. Bruins will lob it out of the zone here. Wotherspoon sending it up ice. Boston trying to get some changes on. Lilleberg will dump it right back in. Mason Lohrei to Wotherspoon. Into the air. Settled on the near side. Kept in by Gergensen. Pastelik going behind the net to the far circle and will angle a pass up ice. Beecher gets in behind the defense and chases it all the way deep into the Tampa zone. Comes around behind the net. Backhanded up the wall, but right to Chaffee. And back toward the Boston zone it comes with Lohrei regaining. 3:45 gone here in the third. Bruins have the only goal of the game as Patrick Brown throws a shot in on Vasilevsky, who hangs on to it.
Yeah, so just going back to the goal that was scored, is going to be Koepke's goal unassisted. And the reason for it was when Bjorkstrand came back on the play, he tried to sweep it out of the crease and actually put it back off of Vasilevsky's pad and into the net.
Oh, so it was an
he had possession of the puck, and so Koepke gets credit for it. So the puck never went over the goal line from Koepke's stick, but it was Bjorkstrand who tried to clear it, goes off the pad of Vasilevsky and back in the net.
And he was the last to touch it.
But Lettieri was there, but he didn't chip it home. So they give it to him unassisted.
Well, here's
but Middlestat made the whole play.
Right.
So you get nothing.
So he won't get credit for it, but in the locker room he'll get credit for it.
Yes, exactly.
Well, perhaps deep into Boston territory here. Just over 4 minutes gone in the period. Chernak out of the blue line. Shot goes up over Swayman's net into the far corner. Hagel pushed it back down low. Here's Kucherov out in front, a chance, and they hit the post.
How did that stay out?
I don't know, but the light went on. And
he had a wide open net. It was Hagel, wasn't it?
Yeah. Pastrnak coming down into the Tampa zone. Crowd murmuring, trying to figure out why that didn't go.
He can't believe it. The net was wide open.
Lori will backhand one in the direction of Geekie, who gets bumped off it by Lilleberg. So Tampa, they hit a post in the second period and now come up empty on that chance as Gonçalves moves into the Boston zone along the near side. Turns it over Zadorov. He will give it across to Lauko coming through neutral ice. Usnadinov tried to get it back to Lauko. Disrupted. Lauko able to fight through traffic and get it back. Wheels one through the slot. Looking for Lindholm, who was coming down the right circle. That was broken up. Usnadinov, though, in deep. One hands one toward the side of the net. Picked off there by Gord. Forced back out in front. Lindholm drops it back. Jokiharju one times it wide. Near side. Usnadinov got it back in behind the Tampa net, and it's taken away now. Lilleberg skating out toward his own blue line. Pass ahead toward the Boston zone, redirected in. Zadorov puts a hit on Gord as they go into the near corner in pursuit. Usnadinov in there as well for Boston. Hall goes down as he tried to bring the puck free. Puck angled back to the point. The shot blocked by Leterre. There goes another stick.
Pretty good battle there with Gord. Gord didn't like Zadorov putting him in the boards there too much. Gord, I mean, that gives away a lot of size there, but he's not going to back down either. He's going to hack and whack you.
Vinny Leterre, 2 block shots, 2 broken sticks in this third period. He's in on the forecheck here now. But the Lightning will come out with Point moving it from left to right as he carries in across the Boston line. Little give and go. Forced into the far corner. Now the puck popped free and out in front. Knocked away by Ian Mitchell. Bruins will get whistled for an icing here as Mitchell just batted it all the way down the ice.
This will give us a chance on a replay to see how Hagel misses the net here. I don't know how this puck is not, this game, I don't know how this game is not tied right now. Because, I mean, he's wide open to the backside of Swayman as that puck came free.
The face-off in the Bruins' defensive zone. We don't get a replay.
No,
they had to get their...
They got to get their ads in. Yeah. So, yeah, we don't get a replay on it. We'll never know. Yeah. Bring back Nesson, please. Oh, God.
Yeah, we have found that throughout the course of the season that the national broadcasts tend to come up a little light on the replays at times.
Hey, it's good. It's good for the economy of the game, but not always for the content of what's happening in the game.
On the near side, Middlestat tapped it off the wall. Point keeps it alive here for Tampa. Plays it in deep. Able to seal his man off of it was Wotherspoon. Bruins will get it back out of the zone. They'll get a change here. 13 minutes even to go in regulation. Boston with a 1-goal lead. Lori from the red line. Sends it all the way around. It'll come back in behind the net. Moser challenged and turned it over to Beecher. Backhanded behind the net by Brown. Pastrnak went down as he tripped over.
No stick for Vasilevsky.
Vasilevsky's stick. He's going to get it back as the Lightning will clear the puck.
I think Chernak had something to do with that too.
Jurgensen's fired a pass across the ice, but that's going to be an offside as Chafee got in across the line a little too quickly. We'll step aside here with 12:29 to go. 1-0 Bruins have the lead on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You can shop during this ad by saying, Alexa, add to cart. You are bountiful. Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails fruit-pectin gummies with collagen and biotin, plus antioxidants C and E, help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. all while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Etsy is here with some New Year inspiration. You can refresh your home with linen bedding under $150 and handmade jackets under $100 from small shops. For home and style finds to help you start fresh, Etsy has it.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
12:29 to go in the third period. Bruins have a 1-0 lead, and we got a chance to check out the replay.
Finally got a chance to see the replay. Thank you. I didn't give Swayman enough credit. He reached back with the paddle, got a piece of the attempt there by Hagel, who had an open net, and Hagel ended up putting it off the crossbar, but not after, right after. Swayman reached across, got a piece of it, which kept that puck out of the net. So off of Swayman's paddle, maybe even the blocker, as he outstretched with his right arm, and then off the crossbar and out. Great save made by Swayman. We did not give him enough credit. We were kind of blocked out by the angle where we are, but certainly watching the replay, wow, what a save.
I mean, it looked like it was going to be a slam dunk by Hagel.
He had an open net, and Swayman didn't give up on it.
Hagel, a 30-goal scorer this year. Here's Lauko dragging one into the attack zone for the Bruins. Gives to Lohrei. Played it down the near wall. Cut off behind the net by Perbix. Brought it out in front. Over to the far side for Gord. Weak wide pass, overshot Perbix. Lohrei has it back for the Bruins. 12:05 to go in regulation. Cole Koepke's goal is held up to this point. It's a 1-0 Bruins lead. Lauko the back of the net. Comes around the near side. Battle along the hash marks. Comes back in deep. Lauko kicking it along the wall. Husnudinov has his pocket picked by Gonsalves, and he'll work his way out to his own blue line. Now pivots back. Bruins changing out of the play here. As a long feed toward their blue line for Nick Paul is disrupted. Zacha in there. Zadorov played it over to the far side. Jokiharju's pass through the neutral ice. Redirected, comes bouncing toward Geekie, and he hammers it deep. Into the far corner. Pasternak got it right out into the slot. Zacha straight on chance. And the save by Vasilevsky. No rebound.
Yeah, great chance. Another turnover by Tampa leads to this opportunity. Remember, Zacha had a great chance last game, right, against Carolina, and he shot that puck wide. This time, puck rolling a little bit. Just settles down and up for him, but he gets his shot away. And this one, like right into the midsection there of Vasilevsky, as Geekie was fighting his way to the front of the net. Couldn't quite provide the screen, but, I mean, not looking for one right there either. I mean, Zacha's in just great shooting position, coming in just above the hash marks. Pasternak was able to find him there.
Kucherov going to bring one into the Boston zone along the near boards. Couldn't find anywhere to go. Zacha will lead it up ice. He was trying to get Pasternak moving into the Tampa end, but cut off. McDonough drops it back. Chernak takes a hit from Geekie. Puck off to the far side. Zacha trying to get it toward Pasternak as he was moving toward the slot. Instead, behind the net. Pasternak backhands one out in front, just out of Zacha's reach. Chernak skates it out toward his own blue line. Then pass picked off by Zacha. Had Pasternak going the other way. Couldn't connect. That line will change up. We got 10:35 to go. Bruins up 1. Braden Point with speed through the neutral zone. Lost it to Middlestat. And the Bruins strike right back here. Lettieri will backhand deep. Koepke goes in against Radish in behind the Tampa net. Kicked on to Moser. Out through the neutral ice comes Point. To the right wing side for Bjorkstrand. Pulls up inside the Boston zone. Took the shot from out near the blue line, and a glove save by Swayman.
Fans, Point is proud to honor our hometown heroes all season long. This week they're honoring Lieutenant Sandy Picard from Lawrence Police Department and her therapy dog Ollie, who brings smiles to those who need it most. To nominate someone making a difference in your community, visit 985thesportshub.com/heroes today.
Faceoff will be in the Bruins defensive zone here. 10:12 left in regulation. Faceoff win by Beecher. He gets it out of the corner, brings it around the net to the far side. Pass up ice for Kastelik was broken up. Lightning with possession at their own blue line. Pass behind Gensel coming through the neutral zone, turned over. Patrick Brown tips it, looking for Kastelik. Forced back toward the Boston end, though. And Point will go into the forecheck against Pete. Around the near side. Tipped out by Beecher. And that is going to be an icing. No. Kastelic will get down there to beat the
Nobody knew where that puck was.
Yeah. It just slowly trickled down into Tampa territory. Moser wasn't fast enough to get back and beat Kastelic to it. But the Lightning step forward here with 9:25 to go. Gensel on the far wall. Nordstrand got it back to the point. They work at a Perbix near side. His shot blocked by Koepke. Lorai in the near corner. Plays it behind the net for Mitchell. And Mitchell, with a rink-wide pass, finds Middlestead. And across the Tampa line, floated one toward the slot, and it'll be covered up at the near side of the crease by Vasilevsky to bring us to a stoppage in play with 9:06 to go here in the third. It's the Bruins 1 and the Lightning nothing on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
You can shop during this ad by saying, Alexa, add to cart. You are bountiful. Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails fruit pectin gummies with collagen and biotin, plus antioxidant C&E, help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Markdown Days.
At Route 6 Auto Mall Kia in Swansea.
They're marking down prices on everything.
And every vehicle is just $1 down. So put your tax refund in the bank.
Coach, what's the game plan? It's going to take championship caliber offers. 0% financing? You betcha. Get 0% and a lifetime warranty, no charge.
New Kia Tellurides, Sportages, Sorrentos, and more at markdown prices.
Hey, what if I don't make the cut?
Don't sweat it. All you need is a job and a dime. Every vehicle, $1 down.
Oh, and the confetti is falling. Get 0% and a lifetime warranty, no charge.
You could save thousands.
Get to Markdown Days
at Route 6 Auto Mall Kia
in Swansea.
Route6automall.com.
Route6automall.com.
For details, call 888-420-3306.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
Calling all youth hockey players, the 16th annual Boston Bruins and Pro Ambitions Hockey Summer Camp presented by Rapid 7 is back. Youth hockey players can elevate their skills during the offseason in a fun-filled environment. Space is limited, so visit bostonbruins.com/summercamp to register today. 9:06 left here in Tampa, and it's the Bruins who have a 1-0 lead over the Lightning.
Yeah, and they haven't sat back either. I mean, you had the great chance from Hagel. Obviously, I mean, unbelievable save made by Swayman on that one, but they haven't given up much other than that this period, and they've had a couple of opportunities of their own. The best one probably being off the stick of Zacha right in the slot.
Puck held in the zone here by Wotherspoon. Geekie from the left circle had his shot blocked by Chernak. Wotherspoon moves it along the blue line and pushes it down into the far corner. Pasternak with position on McDonough now gets held away from it. Zacha reaching in there to try to get it. Instead, it is steered up for Cirelli and back through the neutral zone. Wotherspoon knocks it away from the onrushing Hagel. Ian Mitchell from his own blue line. Pass tipped toward Geekie. Pasternak has it just inside the Tampa Bay blue line. Forced back out of the zone. Kucherov chasing and is able to get that puck away from Jokiharju. Wrapped around the boards toward the near side, but helped out by Pasternak. 8:08 to go. Radish brings it back across the Boston line. Pasternak knocks down a pass through the middle. Lifts it up out into the neutral zone. Usnadinov couldn't catch up with it. Back toward the Boston zone, and Zadorov step ahead of Kucherov.
Well, that's some ugly hockey in between the blue lines right there.
Radish chased by Husnadinov. Husnadinov, good job on the forecheck, able to win that puck, and Lauko trying to get it to Lindholm, but denied.
On adrenaline, your first game, you get here, you're at the trade deadline, you get to a new city, new team.
Ward whistles one wide of Sweeney.
Flying on adrenaline right now for some of the newcomers for the Bruins, and playing well.
Lauko will chip it up the left wing boards. Lightning with possession in their own zone and 7:12 to play. Kastelik able to hold off Gord near the Boston line. Patrick Brown moves it forward. Beecher goes down along the far boards against Chernak. Puck rimmed around the near side. Gonsalves will get it toward the Boston blue line, but angled right back out of there by Wotherspoon. Vasilevsky goes behind the net off the dump in. Radish played it up and out of the zone. Mitchell trying to drive it back in. Kastelik scores from outside the blue line. He just one-timed that puck into the net from over 60 feet out, and it's 2-0 Bruins. Vasilevsky looking toward the heavens.
I got to believe that this puck changed directions. Kastelik fired this puck towards the net, and I think, it changed directions, right? It got knocked down by Radish. Radish with the perfect tip. It was going into the corner. And Radish tipped it, and Vasilevsky, he was going to play it on the far post. So he was saying that puck's going to come around the boards, and he's going to go stop it behind the net from the far post. So that's why the net was empty, and Radish, I think it went off of Radish's stick or the shaft of his stick out high, and then basically into the empty net before Vasilevsky can get back.
5th of the year for Kastelik. That ends a 10-game point drought for him.
Needs a helper for the Gordie Howe.
So 6:23 to go here in the third, and the Bruins have a 2-0 lead. Puck in the Boston zone. Zadorov will drag it free.
After last game, the Bruins deserve that.
They were definitely deserving of some puck luck today. Here's a drop pass for Point, moving toward the slot. Got a shot through, and the save by Swayman. Blockered into the far corner. McDonough drive. Swayman a stick save. Tempo picking up here by Tampa. Gensel gets it back to McDonough. Down low to come to Point. Off the outside of the net. Radish at the blue line keeps in. McDonough with a shot. Glove save by Swayman, and no rebound. 5:45 left here in the third period, and the Bruins have a 2-0 lead on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Artificial intelligence, AI, it's all you hear about. But how far away is it? And what are the potential threats from AI that could totally upend the way Americans live their lives? What will it do to the job market? What will the unemployment rate be? What does it mean for data privacy or cybersecurity? How about the banking system or national security? The ECB has already warned about a bubble in AI stocks. Could this spread to other sectors? If you have $50,000 or more saved for retirement, this may not be the time to wait and find out. Learn how you could help protect your life savings using precious metals like gold and silver. Right now, you can get a free gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco. On top of that, you could get up to a 10% instant match in bonus silver, but only while supplies last. Call 855-GOLD-IRA now. That's 855-GOLD-IRA. One more time, 855-GOLD-IRA.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Patrick Brown and Ian Mitchell get assists on Mark Kastelik's 5th of the year. With those helpers, the Shaw's and Star Market Foundation donates another $200 to the Greater Boston Food Bank to help fight food insecurity. Learn more about Feeding the Puck for families at 985thesportshub.com/feedthepuck. We got 5:45 to go, and the Bruins have a 2-0 lead here in Tampa.
Yeah, that goal, Mitchell gets the puck in the neutral zone. He tried to fire it back in the zone. It actually hits the leg of Brown. Patrick Brown goes right to Kastelik. Kastelik's just dumping the puck around the boards. But off the shaft of the stick of Radish. And Vasilevsky is now on the bench for the extra attacker with 5:45 to go in this game. John Cooper saying, you're not doing anything 5-on-5, so let's try to make it 6-on-5.
Well, just like we all predicted.
They talked about it.
Here's Kucherov, a drive. That gets blocked. On the far circle, Hagel pivots away from Kastelik. They work it around to Kucherov with his shot. Save made, and the rebound cleared out to the blue line. Radish to Kucherov at the right circle. Down low, Kinsel puts one in front, and Sweeney gathers it in his crease and covers it up.
And hockey season is the perfect time to replace your old boiler with a new Peerless boiler. Don't wait until you have no heat. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
5:26 to go. So Koepke and Kastelik, the goal scorers today. Brown and Mitchell assisted on the Kastelik goal.
Glad they gave some assists on that one.
Well, they had to change them because they originally gave Geeky one, and that wasn't right either. There's Kucherov, another drive, saved by Swayman, rebound. Cleared toward the far wall. Radish will reset things from the left point. Around behind the Bruins net. It bounced away from Kucherov along the far circle. Beecher got it to Zadorov and shoots and scores from his own blue line into the empty net with 5:08 to go. The Bruins make it 3-0.
A couple empty netters for Zadorov this year.
Yep, that's 4 overall.
Beecher's had a very quiet game, but he makes a pretty decent play there. Zadorov makes no mistake. That's rolling the dice over 5 minutes to go, but I mean, that's what John Cooper thinks about his team today. You know, you're not getting it done 5-on-5. Right. You're not even threatening 5-on-5 other than a Hagel chance in this game, really. You hit the post in the second period. Bjorkstrand did, but they really hadn't done much. That's an indictment on the way he thinks his team is playing right there.
Right. Well, you kind of waited for it. You mentioned it, after the first period, then again after the second period. Like, at some point, you'd expect the real Lightning to show up.
It's hard to, criticize them because coming into this game, they were 11-1-1 in their last 13.
Right.
So, they're comfortably in the playoffs. It's a matter of where they're going to finish in their division. And, that'll determine who they play against in the first round. Finish first, then you're playing, the lowest seeded team. But if you're going to finish second, you're either going to play Florida or Toronto. That's, careful what you wish for, but I don't want to play either one of those teams in the first round.
I would much rather be playing a wild card team, whoever winds up being the wild card.
Whether it's Detroit, Ottawa, Columbus, whoever that might be, or even Montreal's played some good hockey here recently, right? I mean, so these games mean something. You expect to go in and win this game. They're 1 point behind Toronto for second. They're 3 points behind Florida.
With a game in hand.
They have game in hand on Florida, yeah.
Bruins got whistled
Rangers,
for a hand pass
the other
here.
Rangers are a possibility. I mean, there's no easy outs. There's never an easy out. Last year, Washington squeaked in, and they're as close to an easy out as it was, right, for the Rangers. But this year, Washington's been on fire. They've been excellent.
The Capitals enter the day 2 points behind Winnipeg in the President's Trophy race. Andrew Peeke out of the far corner, sends one up the wall, not out of the zone. Comes back in behind Boston's net with 4:35 to play. It's a 3-0 Bruins lead. McDonough will rip one in deep. Peeke sends it back in behind the net. Zadorov in the near corner. Turns away from Hagel, brings back in behind the net. Peeke will volley it through neutral ice. Pasternak giving chase. McDonough steered it back toward the Boston zone. Here's Kucherov moving in, right circle. Hit the post on the short side.
Outside of the post, though. 2-on-1 for the Bruins.
Pastrnak coming ahead. Moves it down the left circle. Sends one across. And they score! Cole Koepke's going to get his second of the game on the 2-on-1, and the Bruins make it 4-0.
Pasternak's so good. You know, you talk about guys who get the 2-on-1s, and we've talked about all those 2-on-1s that they haven't scored on. He gets McDonough to move his stick. That's the key here. Pasternak's coming down the left wing side. He's got Koepke on the right. McDonough's the only defenseman back. And he holds it long enough and fakes shot to get McDonough to move his stick to try to get a piece of Pasternak's shot, and that's when he moves it over to Koepke. And then you've got an uncontested pass and a one-timer because you got Vasilevsky playing the shot from Pastrnak. That's just perfectly executed by Pastrnak.
It's going to be Pasta's 79th point of the season.
That's against a good defenseman.
Yeah.
And he gets him to move the stick out of the passing lane.
4-0 Bruins, 3:40 to play.
We've criticized some of the 2-on-1s that they've had, over the last several games. That one was perfect.
Well, for so many of them, they just failed to even get a shot on goal out of them. As Point drags one back into the Boston zone, then turns over. Casey Middlestat will lift it up the far side with a backhand. Here's Kastelik able to muscle his way to the puck and sends one in front, but Beecher couldn't turn it on goal. Gensel skating the Lightning back the other way. Can't gain the attacking blue line. Elias Lindholm bringing the Bruins back. Drags the puck back toward his forehand, and then it slipped away from him. Gensel had it knocked free by Kastelik and back deep into Tampa territory with 3 minutes to go. From behind the net, J.J. Moser. Pass up the near side for Gergensons. Goes rink wide with it for Chernak. He brings into the Boston zone. Chafee into the far corner. Puck around the net, comes to the near side. Chernak tried to get it back toward the corner. Lohrei cut it off. Zacha coming back deeper into his own zone, gives to Peak. Now Geekie. That's spun, but stays with it. Drops it back. Peak to Lohrei. Pass up the near side. Pastrnak had his stick knocked away from it. Lines up an icing here against Boston.
Fans, Bruins hockey is brought to you by Timberline Construction, providing truly exceptional service in construction management, pre-construction, design build, and due diligence support. Learn more at timberlineconstruction.com. Timberline Construction, exceptional, no exceptions.
So Zadorov's empty netter, assisted by Beecher at 14:52, and then Koepke from Pastrnak and Middlestat is going to get an assist on that one at 15:53. Puck played back in deep here by the Lightning with 2:15 to go. Peak fell down in pursuit of the puck. Herbix throws one to the net. Save made. No one can find it. Still scrambling for it. Fischl staring right at it. He will blow the whistle as Swayman gets it covered. Peak has a bear hug on Yanni Gourde.
Well, Gord's going to battle. Doesn't matter what the score is. That's his. He's in front of the net. Everybody's trying to find it. The whistle never went. They're poking away at it, and Swayman he actually got pushed back into the net, it looked like a little bit. He was laying on it, laying on his back with the puck underneath him.
2:05 left in this one with the Bruins up 4. Reminder, they'll be back home on Tuesday night, take on the Florida Panthers. Face-off will be to Swayman's right here. Far circle down to our right as well. Face-off win by Lindholm. Jokiharju will just get it out into the neutral zone. Lindholm. Patrick Brown trying to battle his way into the offensive zone. And they do get it deep. Yanni Gourde in the near circle. Sends it back in behind the Tampa Bay net. It's going to be the Lightning, only their 8th loss in regulation at home this season. Beecher sends one up the left side here and directed deep by Brown. Both teams getting some changes on. Minute 25 to go. Gonsalves going to bring it back through the neutral zone. Cutting toward the left wing side. Sends one all the way across. Chafee, a shot from the right circle. Swayman saw it all the way. Hangs on with 1:17 left. This will be just the second Bruins win in the last 10 games as well. On a day when they had 4 new faces in the lineup coming off of yesterday's trade deadline. Face-off win by the Lightning. Cernak sends it over to the far side. Shot from the top of the circle by Moser, forced into the corner. Cernak with a drive from the point, and Swayman turned that aside. Casey Middlestad ahead for the Bruins, and we get a whistle, and he put himself offside, it looks like.
All right, I'm not going to say it just yet, but I'll wait till after the game.
Okay.
I've got some numbers.
62 seconds to go. So Middlestat is lining up to take the face-off and now gets called over to the bench. So you can have Castellic come out and take the draw. Off the draw, and it comes free in the center ice circle. And it'll be lifted deep by Wotherspoon, and some groans in the crowd as they announce the final minute of this third period. From those that are left wearing blue, mostly black and gold.
Comes into this game
puck out of play,
tied with the Washington Capitals with the most goals per game.
Right.
They're tied for the best offense in the league. And as you said, on home ice, their record coming into today, 23-7-2. Been dominant here in Tampa.
They're coming off back-to-back wins here on home ice. 6-2 over Columbus on Tuesday, and then 6-5 in a wild one against Buffalo on Thursday. They had 12 goals in their last 2 games. As Castellic leaves one in the slot, and a chance for Brown turned aside. 32 seconds to go. Off the near boards, Beecher able to pull it free. Goes in down low, moving it around behind the net, off the far wall. Waiting for it at the point. Mitchell across to the near side, wrapped back around to the far side, and a long shot. Gloved by Vasilevsky, and he hangs on to it with 16.6 to go.
Tampa's only been shut out once this season. It was against Detroit, but it was in Detroit, so this is the first time they're going to be shut out at home. I'm going to say it. With 16.6 seconds ago, they shut out the Red Wings back in January, or excuse me, got shut out by the Red Wings back in January, losing that game 2-0. It's the only time they've been shut out this year. They can fill the back of the net.
Puck brought behind the net here, and carrying out toward his own blue line. Perbix up the right side. It'll be chipped into the Bruin zone by Paul. 6 seconds to go. And the puck controlled by Vinny Lettieri. He'll drag it out into neutral ice, and Jeremy Swayman gets his 4th shutout of the season. The Bruins, after dealing away Brad Marchand, Charlie Coyle, Brennan Carlo, Charlie Coyle. How quickly we forget these guys. They dealt away Carlo and Coyle and Marchand, and the Bruins come out today with a 4-0 victory here on the road. And we'll be back with a recap next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Are you taking steps to help protect your money from the potential impact of world war? Russia and Ukraine, Israel, Gaza. We've seen threats from Iran, and now Syria has been taken over by extremists, putting the entire region at risk. The question is, how much more international conflict can we handle? And what impacts will these conflicts have on the global economy and your retirement savings? Right now, thousands of hardworking Americans are turning to precious metals like gold and silver to help them protect their hard-earned savings. You may not be able to control these global conflicts around the world, but you can control how you diversify your money. And that's where gold and silver could help. Right now, you can get a free gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco. On top of that, you could get up to a 10% instant match and bonus silver, but only while supplies last. So don't wait. Call 855-GOLD-IRA to get your free copy today and find out if you qualify for up to a 10% instant match and bonus silver. That's 855-GOLD-IRA. One more time, 855-GOLD-IRA.
At Enterprise, we know you're constantly on the move. Getting this,
Thanks, Mom.
fixing that. You reach a destination, and then it's on to the next. And when life is moving at the speed of, well, life, Enterprise is right there with you, around the corner and around the globe. We'll keep you moving forward. Enterprise, for lives in drive.
You manage your business, we'll manage your finances. With Navigant Credit Union's cash management services, you'll boost efficiency and enhance performance. From collections to disbursements, it's the expertise you didn't know you needed. Try Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Welcome to the Nissan Now sales event. Are you all right?
I wanted to get here before the best offers were gone.
You're just in time. Let me show you what we've got. There's the all-new Kicks. The sporty Sentra, or our best-selling Rogue, a Consumer Guide Best Buy 11 years in a row. You must be exhausted.
I think I'm ready for my next adventure.
For the #1 shopping experience among non-luxury car buyers according to J.D. Power, get to Nissan now. Now, get 2.9% APR financing for 60 months on Rogue. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. For well-qualified buyers, 2.9% APR financing for 60 months on new 2025 Rogue and dealer stock. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $17.92 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and in-MAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 3/31/25.
Felger and Maz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub.
Pasternak coming ahead. Moves it down the left circle, sends one across, and they score! Cole Koepke's going to get his second of the game on the 2-on-1, and the Bruins make it 4-0. Bruins beat the Lightning 4-0 this afternoon. We're joined downstairs by Cole Koepke. Had 2 of the Bruins' goals today. Cole, what was the conversation like in the room as you guys, bring 4 new players in and with some of the veterans you lost coming into this game today? What was the mood and the discussion in the locker room before the game?
Yeah, I think yesterday, what happened to the guys we lost were great players and phenomenal guys, so I think that was kind of hard, but we also got some great guys back, and I think just as a team we talked about we need to come together and just kind of welcome those new guys, play our kind of game, and realize that we're still only a couple points out of playoffs, and that if we play as a team and push, try and string some wins together, you never know what's going to happen.
Cool. You had a couple goals here today. Nice feed from Pasta there in the third period, but the game-winning goal, you get that pass from Mittelstadt. What are you thinking going down there? And did you know you scored it, or did you think Vinny Lettieri had the goal?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't know who had it. From Casey, though, that was a great job. He took the puck from them, and he's a super skilled player, and he's got great vision with the puck. And I just tried to get an open space, and he laid it out for me. And from there, I just kind of tried to go 5-hole. I didn't know what was coming in behind me, and tried to leave a rebound if not. And Vinny kind of just crashed the net, and it went in. And we were both kind of saying we don't know who got it or whatnot, but we weren't worried about that. We were just happy to get on the board.
Mittelstadt, when he met the press before the game today, seemed pretty excited to be playing on an all-Minnesota line with you and Lettieri. Are you excited to have that Minnesota connection too?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. We're all familiar with each other just from being in Minnesota and growing up playing with each other and against each other. So kind of go for a full circle and be playing together in the NHL is something that's pretty cool.
We appreciate the time. Congratulations on the win today.
Thank you.
Cole Koepke with 2 goals, and the Bruins with a 4-0 win here against the Tampa Bay Lightning this afternoon on the road. I don't know that any of us would have expected to see that result this afternoon, but credit the Bruins. They took advantage of a Tampa team that didn't feel like they were at the top of their game throughout the course of the season.
No, they're not. It's the first time this season that they've been shut out on home ice.
Right.
But no, give full marks to the Bruins. Don't want to take anything away from them. They played well. They played a good road game. They should have won both games on this road trip, both against Carolina and here today. They deserved to win this game. It wasn't like they got outplayed and Swayman stood on his head. He made one fantastic save off the stick of Hagel, which could have changed things. That would have made the game 1-1. It was still 1-0 at the time. So that was early in the third period where Hagel had an open net, and Swayman didn't give up on it, reached across with the paddle, got a piece of it, so it went off the paddle, off the crossbar, and out. And, give him a ton of credit on that save. He didn't have to make a lot of difficult saves today, but that one was spectacular. So, other than that, the Bruins, like I said, they play a good road game. They took advantage of a good break off the stick of Radish that goes into an empty net. We're it's a dump, and